And it's time for more CFPH Masters 2025. Matchup number 1 has been down to a 2-0. Ngayon, Sneaky, nandito na tayo sa Execration versus Fervid. At mukhang magandang labanan natin mamaya.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, Fervid, obviously, medyo naghahabol pa rin dito sa standings natin. Currently 0-4. And same thing as well para dito sa Execration. Execration, of course, obviously, yung kanilang last stint going into Masters didn't bode too well. I wouldn't say na it's the exact same run, paper to paper pare from that last season. Pero ayun nga, Execration, I really feel like yung roster na to is better than their standing at the moment. Feeling ko talaga na they do deserve to hover around itong top 4 at nagkataon lang talaga na medyo masakit yung kanilang kalaban dito.
Yun, totoo man. Talagang medyo yun yung ina-expect natin for them. Pero for right now, let's talk muna about Fervid Esports. Kung ano nga ba ang nangyayari sa kanila ngayon. Again, Fervid Esports is at the bottom of our standings right now, but still the promise is there. We know individually the players can outshine the opponents. Si Lance ay nandyan, si Jat, si Hadj, si Nomad, and si Ting. It's a good vibes dito at ngayon ko lang naalala na namumula nga pala ang camera ni Nomad every time we see him. Pero team stats muna tayo ngayon. We can definitely see na a lot of them has potential na umabot sa 1.0 KDR, but looking at the other stuff din naman, you can see headshot percentage coming from Nomad, 0.66. That's actually good.
Yeah, that's pretty high. I think yung more accurate representation talaga ng mga players dito and the way that they do play their game siguro dun sa game na lang mismo. There's a lot of aggression, there's a lot of fights that they do want to take, pero meron pa naman silang halo na discipline, no? Thanks to the coaching dito ni Nice Katol. But nagkataon lang talaga na this is the year where 8 of the best teams in Crossfire have entered itong Masters and there's no debate about it, pare. And para naman dito sa Fervid, I really feel like someone had to be the team to be last in the standings, pare. And with them being so young, it does happen yung mga ganito na moments where feeling mo talaga na hindi ka na mananalo for the rest of the season, but then you have that ceiling, man. Nasa inyo yung ceiling, no, Polar? Nasa inyo yung napakataas na ceiling, pare.
Totoo man, ibig sabihin lang nun that the improvement is just gonna get better and better, and they just need to use 1-2, 0-2s all across the board as fuel for the next set of matches, and even for the next set of couple of years para sa kanila. Again, you said na they're young players, plus the addition of the coach na, with Nice Katol in their team, it means na they're bound for greatness din naman tulad ng ating EVOS Esports. We were talking about that as well. Pero yeah, Fervid Esports, unfortunately sila yung tumangki ng buong roster ng ating Masters CFPH. But right now, meron tayong substitution, everybody. Welcome in Jat coming in, and out muna ngayon si Skies for our remainder of our game. Fervid Esports, ano nga bang thoughts natin dyan, Sneaky, na si Jat naman ngayon ang papasok?
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate na hindi nga natin makikita dito si Skies. Para sa akin, I still think Skies has got to be the player with the highest potential sa lahat ng players dito ng Fervid. But unfortunately, maybe he is gonna do something and letting itong si Jack play in. Why not? Let's get the curveball in para dito sa Fervid, no? And I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see, pare. I mean, Execration, medyo shaky yung kanilang form, but at the same time, very scary, no? Depende sa makikita natin na laro. But Fervid, man, full belief sa kanila, pare, that they can do something today kasi it's been a few weeks. Maybe they picked up a thing or two dito, pare.
Yeah, baka nakapag-aral na sila. Maybe they've done the research. Again, there's teams, especially for Execration, na medyo malaking hadlang din naman for every team na makikita natin dito sa CFPH Masters. But right now, let's go on forward to our interview. None other than the substitution for Fervid. Welcome, Jat. Kamusta ka naman dyan?
Okay lang po. Medyo kinakabahan.
Okay lang yan.
Okay lang yan, pare. I mean, it is first match din para kay Jat. Jat, ayun nga, papasok ka dito para kay Skies. Pare, kamusta naman yung pakiramdam? Nag-practice ka na ba with the team? Ano yung outlook dito men sa pagpasok mo?
Nakapractice naman po pero hindi po palagi. Nanonood lang ako sa kanila pag nagpa-practice.
So parang nagigets mo na rin, no, yung laruan nila in general, no, pare, dito sa practice.
Hindi naman lahat, pero may konti rin akong natutunan sa kanila.
Okay. Maybe that's all you need, Polar?
Yeah, talaga. Yun lang naman kailangan mo. Jet, anong, mabilisan lang, anong ma-expect natin from you today? Will you be a role player or magpo-frag out ka ba? Magpo-pop off ka ba mamaya? Onting insight man lang?
So ito, wala akong masasabi pero susubukan ko lahat ng makakaya.
Yan ang gusto naming marinig. Confidence from the man himself. You know what, Jat? You being in the squad, it's gonna be a good addition para sa buong Fervid. Any last thoughts? May oras mo na para mag-shoutout sa inyong mga fans, sa yung friends. It's your time.
Shoutout pala sa mga supporters namin. Salamat sa patuloy na pagsusuporta kahit hindi kami masyadong nakipag-ano ngayon. Pero susubukan namin lahat ng makakaya namin. Yan lang po. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Jat. Good words from him, from the new kid in the town para sa Fervid. Maraming salamat, Jat. Good luck para sa matches niyo later on. Sneaky, what a man coming in from Fervid.
Yeah, for sure. I like yung positive outlook dito ng Fervid, no? I mean, you really don't have any other choice in the matter, man. I mean, you can only go up from here at this point. And para naman dito sa Fervid, this entire Masters has been a learning experience para sa kanila dito. And I really feel like going into yung next season, granted yung natalo nga nila yung Team Secret in that Open Qualifier 1, there is potential in that, pare. And I'm excited for the next season para makita tong team na to.
Totoo man, parang it's just about to bloom para sa buong Fervid Esports. Pero one team that already bloomed into the CFPH scene is Execration. Let's talk about them muna ngayon. Again, nandito si Folex, nandito rin naman yung mga other players na talaga nagpapakita na agresibo ang buong CFPH right now. And those are the people right now na nakikita nyo. Medyo wala lang sila sa screen right now, pero kumakaripas na sila. Tumatakbo na at hello! Even CVN, Charles, and Folex, and ZYK. Alam naman natin, pag Execration pag nag-uusapan, it's a fun bunch of players.
Ayun nga, for sure. A very, very fun bunch of players. Obviously, yung kanilang season hasn't gone exactly the way as they expected, para with their own being over itong team acceptance in week number 1. Rest of it has been, rough para sa kanila dito. Pero granted, nakalaban nga nila dito yung UM, PM, and itong EVOS. Malay mo, diba, this might be the time for them to finally notch a win. In terms of statistics, pare, we expect what we expect, man. Folex, way ahead of his teammates, pare. And itong si CBN having, almost the exact same HNK.
Yeah, very much so. Yun yung medyo talaga nakikita din natin sa mga outcomes nila. Even though some of the games are not really at their high or at their peak, nakikita naman natin na Folex really does put up with his team, and a good addition for Execration itself. Ngayon ko lang nakikita yung SR nila not really that high compared for other teams. They do use it, pero looking at other things naman, CBN with the headshot per kill na 0.80 is actually really, really good. Now let's look at the team data. Again, it's a mix of like ups and highs, ups and lows, pero a win from Acceptance, Ubek Maniac, it went out to 1-2, something na talaga akala natin kaya nila mag-close out, but for the rest of the show before this game is 0-2. Ngayon, it might be their time to finally rise up once again, claim their rightful spot sa ating standings. Pero yeah, team data for Execration really looking high or looking up na lang after this game.
Yun nga, after that team acceptance game, pare, they got hit with a 3-piece combo of top 3 teams. And ayun nga, unfortunately, they got almost 3-piece combo. Yun nga, they took a map off of itong Ubek, which is very, very impressive, pare. And para naman for the rest of their schedule, it doesn't look too bad. Para sa kanila dito, I think yung the only dangerous na game para sa kanila is probably that Team Secret. Pero other than that, man, yung schedule nila is looking pretty winnable para sa run nila for playoffs.
Yeah, it's gonna be looking pretty good para sa kanila, and it looks like we are now finally in the presence of the one and only Folex coming in from Execration. It's time for your interview, man. Kamusta ka naman dyan, brother?
Okay naman po. Good evening, guys. Good evening, casters.
Always nice to talk to itong si Paul, pare. Paul, obviously, tapos na ang sobrang hirap na part ng schedule no, pare, na andito na kayo sa, maybe a week where you can collect some wins. Anong may expect natin today, pare? Aggressive ba? Walang no holds barred? Walang no limits, basically, para sa inyo?
Chill lang. Siyempre, chill lang talaga. Chill lang. Wag masyadong magmadali. Take it slow. Take it easy.
Uy, grabe po. Parang very
parang
spicy. Yun nga eh. Folex, mabilisan na lang para good vibes, para mapantayan natin yung buong Execration squad. Saan kayo galing? Ba't parang lahat kayo tumakbo papunta sa PC nyo kanina? Kamusta naman kayo dyan?
Sinundo lang si Clyde. Kasi si Clyde dapat yung interviewin dito eh.
Alam ko saan galing yun. Alam ko saan siya galing.
Nagpapasuyo pa.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay. Pero Folex, it's your time to shine. Ano, may papasalamatan ka ba? May shout ka ba sa buong exe-fam natin dyan?
Shoutout po sa sumusuporta sa Execration and sa girlfriend ko, kay Tiffany, and sa mama ko, sa teammates ko. Ito si Aljo nasa likod ko. Big shoutout.
Ayun na nga si Aljo nasa likuran niya, no?
Nakatubo na yung buhok, pre. Okay na.
Si N9, guys.
Ay. Pero yun nga, I think that is it para dito kay Folex. Para thank you for joining us in this lovely interview.
Thank you.
Nice to, talk to you, brother. Pero yun nga, that is the Execration looking ready dito sa laruan natin. Vibes are nice and loose, pare. Obviously, si Cloyd, yun nga, kailangan pang suyuin bago pang makapasok ulit dun sa kwarto, pare. And I know exactly the reason why and the community knows as well. Pero yun nga, no, Execration and itong Fervid, pare. Key players, what's the thinking here, pare? Feeling ko si Luns and si Folex.
Folex. Yeah, possibly din talaga. Pero, yeah,
diba?
definitely so. Folex on the left with a 1.23 KD. Yung kung titignan nyo naman, nagkakaiba lang sila in terms of that headshot per kill. Kasi syempre, sobrang ganda palagi ng tutok ni Folex. Once he's in that camera, nakikita mo talaga Folex really is something na it's fun to watch kapag si Folex na yung nasa camera.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the most polarizing players coming in galing dito sa last season ng Impact, and he's still continuing yung kanyang momentum dito. Obviously, one of the highest headshot per kill players as well as itong si CPN. Pero ito naman si Luns, this is a kid that we've been waiting for a while now na mag-pop off dito sa laruan. He already did, but unfortunately didn't result in a win. I just want to see something, anything lang, men, galing dito sa Fervid that can at least surprise us for today. Kasi, yun nga, no, all yung prediction ko, even my thinking right now is this is Execration win, pare.
Yun nga parang we're craving for even more of Fervid esports, and I think this is their time to shine. Ito na yung oras para tibagin nila lahat ng barikada na nadaanan nila throughout the weeks of CFPH Masters. Pero everybody, it's time for us to throw it to the casters or introduce naman muna natin ating casters. It's Mochi and Daedom pa din sa ating caster deck.
Thank you so much, Bipolar. Super excited.
Yun, Daedom, kamusta na muna tayo dyan? Mochi, kamusta tayo dyan?
Sorry na-distract kami. Natawa kami kasi biglang nag-freeze yung mukha ni Daedom. Nakaganon siya. So,
Nagsalvi eh.
Ito na, Amba. Pero ikaw na muna, Mochi. Ikaw na muna.
sige. So, ayun, syempre, after yung series natin kanina, well, pabalik ulit tayo dito for our second series for more crossfire. So, definitely exciting, and hopefully, rather than sa Sneaky Frog, we're gonna be seeing something more out of Fervid, no? I feel like they can face this the same way as Gaon views the rest of the tournament, no? As much as there is gonna be some ways for you to try and discover your true potential as a team, especially sometimes merong mga unprecedented changes, mga swap-ins, swap-outs natin, no? Through that, you can find some ways na makapag-improve further as a whole team, and maybe poke some holes kung meron pang mga butas yung mga makakalaban nyo, and malay nyo you can utilize that in the next leagues natin. Yan na naman.
Well, Daedom, welcome back to our panel dito sa ating foreheads. Kamusta tayo dyan, Daedom?
Thank you. I'm also super excited for this matchup, no? Kasi this is Execration versus Fervid, and Execration, I think this is an important match for them in the sense na, sabi nga ni Sneak, their stats are not who they are. I think Execration are coming into this matchup with a point to prove, and I think they're gonna prove it starting today. So, excited to see what they're gonna show us.
Yeah, and we're excited especially para makita ang ating map veto once again. Pero ngayon, Execration versus Fervid naman ang ating pag-uusapan. Ano nga ba ang pwede makita natin dito? It's a sub-base decider. Pero first two maps natin, Ankara and Port, is gonna be interesting. Sneaky, what are your thoughts?
Wow, di ko na-expect yung sub-base for third map, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, granted, may port naman talaga dito yung Fervid, no? I was actually expecting Compound to come out dito sa map number 1 natin. Because I feel like they've gotten some distance sa map na yun as well. But I feel like they wanted to be a bit more comfortable. Ankara obviously going to be a heavily sided map para dito sa Execration. X is starting on GR side as well. It's going to be a rough first two maps para dito sa Fervid unless they can do something sa BL side. Pero sub-base, I think Fervid can do something kung umabot sila doon.
Moshi.
Well, all I can say, this is gonna be a heck of a challenge para sa Fervid, no? I feel like both of these maps are definitely gonna be sided more for Execration, considering na very individually sufficient pa yung ibang mga players dito, lalong-lalo na si Paul, no? And the rest of the bunch. So, man, this is gonna be a challenge. So, it's just up to them paano nila na matatangke, if that's the best term to use.
Ikaw ba, Dito, are you feeling good with this map, Vito?
I'm feeling good for Execration. I definitely agree with Mochi. It's gonna be a big challenge for Vid to find a set in the first 2 maps at least. And I think that's the reason, Sneaka, kung bakit pinalagpas dito ng Execration ng sub-base. Because I think they're confident that they can end it within the first 2 sets, no? Ankara and Port,
sure.
2 of their favorite maps, barring Compound, which is, banned away on the second rotation dito ng Fervid. And yeah, it's gonna be an uphill battle for sure for Fervid, but I am hopeful for Port because Fervid picked that map up. So siguro may papakita silang bago sa Port.
Yeah, well, that's our map, Vito, for this matchup. Ankara Port sub-base decider. Again, it's a set of maps na talagang medyo magpapakitang giles ang Fervid dito, given that Execration has a lot of expertise on all of those maps. Pero mabilis ang prediction lang tayo ngayon. Medyo tinamaan na rin ako ng kailangan maging realistic na. Fervid, I hope you do give us a show here para against Execration. Pero 2-0 ako for Execration.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat here, man. I feel like Execration are better than their record, pare. So, same thing. Feel like there's too much talent on the team, man.
Mochi.
I feel like nasabi niyo na naman lahat. So, yeah. That's gonna be the
Sorry.
points here in favor of
Sorry.
Execration. Hindi, legit. That's definitely all that there is. So, it's a 2-0 matic.
Yeah, agree with all 3 of you. I think Execration, with the talent that they have, I think they expected as a better start for their group stage, but it's coming. I think they're coming to the top 4 slot, and it starts today with a 2-0.
Yeah, well, it's first 2-0 all across the board. Napakasaya ko. Hindi lang ako mag-isa dito sa ating prediction pool. Pero everybody, it's just all uphill from here. For Fervid and for both Execration, it's looking pretty good for the rest of their journey. So possibly we can still be wrong in our predictions. But everybody, you can also put your predictions sa ating comment section. Keep liking, keep sharing the stream. Pataas ang ating fan base for CFPH Masters. But yeah, again, Ankara being our first map, it's gonna be interesting and the vibes are even higher. It's time to throw it to Mochi and Daydom for the first map.
Thank you so much for the insights, Polar and Sneak. At na, we are down to our second set of the day, Mochi. For Vid, they've had a lot to prove ever since Masters started. Very few people expected Fervid to even qualify for Masters. So a lot of people consider them to be the dark horse coming into this tournament. But it's not the start that they hoped for. Neither has it been for Execration. So they're both fighting for status. Both of these 2 teams, with Fervid having more to prove for today. Let's see what they can do. Yung second map pick dito is an interesting one for sure. But Port is one of the favorite maps of Execration then. So, I don't know. What are you feeling, Mochi?
Yeah, literal. May si Fervid. But I really do acknowledge though, kasi ang nakakatuwa dito kay Fervid is nakikita mo yung mga nagsi-step up pag kailangan talaga. I mean, we have been talking about Lance for quite some time already. Dagdag na rin dito kay Nomad, no? Since so far medyo mabigat talaga yung responsibilidad na kailangang i-cater ni Nomad dito. Minsan talaga hindi may iwasan na kapusin. Granted na rin yung changes sila dito from their roster so far. But I really do hope that they would try to step up further, no? We already saw Lance, we already saw Nomad. What if yung ibang mga members natin would provide better and more solid support so that we can have a better outcome overall, no? Para kay Fervid and themselves.
Yeah, and you gotta talk about the sub as well, right? Jat has got some big shoes to fill in. Skies is one of the players with... actually, he is the player with the highest headshot per kill count. It's a Fervid, no? So, big shoes, big roles to fit in.
Of course.
Tingnan natin kung may feel niya yung role na yun. Ting! Good start on to A even. Midi taking control pero CBN answers back. Ting is down. Entry frag taken away from Fervid here. Pero mga galing na dito sa A ang push ng Fervid. They will be challenging Execration. Nomad taking a lot of information in, but a quick clip from ZYK and Paul X to shut down that entrance from Fervid. C4 hindi pa nitatanim, but Execration converging into that area. Lance opening up the site, and Nomad there to back him up, but Lance all alone. The quick scope doesn't connect, and Execration take round 1 just like that.
Kita mo naman, nakangiti po yung mga players natin, no? Lalo na dyan si CBN, lalo na nung motivated yan. And alongside a bunch of the team, pero you can already witness how they're feeling. Definitely in this map, and forgiven and granted yung first map, Nomad being able to for a really quick trade here though. As all numbers are equalized here, mabilis ang palitan and harap-harapan nilang tinatapatan ang isa't isa. And now, it's all up to Jat. How would we be able to secure ang plant ng C4 natin on this one?
Ito na, tingnan natin. What can the sub do? A 1v2. The clutch! Almost for Jat. But a good swing around from Paul X to trade out A even is what secures the round for Execration almost. But it's not enough para kay Jat dito. A good attempt nonetheless for our sub. As Execration start off well with 2-0. And at full force dito, yung firepower ng Execration. As I say, that Lance decapitates ZYK. Good shot from Lance.
True. And with the rest of them trying to proceed from slide to B, we are going to be seeing additional casualties here na galing kay CBN. Habang nakaantabay lamang ibang mga member natin galing sa Fervid. Lots of utilities being thrown, pero yung shots ni Lance dito, sobrang pino, sobrang sakto, very accurate to say the least, being assisted by Nomad in the one corner. A even be left alone right now. Not quite sure what is going to be the approach here, no? Bay binabato ba naman ng sandamukal na utilities, di mo alam kung saan ka titingin. You may be able to eliminate one, but not the rest of them.
Yeah, okay. Sagot na ang Fervid. Quick push down LB into entrance B. Dire-diretso lang sila, no, taking down anyone in their way. And Execration have been met by the prowess of the BL side dito ng Fervid. But ZYK with an early peak. And Fervid yet to learn the lesson of these duels against Execration. And their shots connecting one by one. Dalawa na lang natitira dito. Yung C4 nakita pa nga dito ni Jat. Will be able to retrieve it. But it is a 2v4. And look at the positions of Execution. Mochi converging onto Jat and now onto Nomad. What can this player do? What can Nomad do? Touted as one of the most aggressive, one of the most consistent riflers of Fervid. At walang magagawa against Fall X and CBN. 3-1 Execration. Powerful round.
That's quite unfortunate, no? Those are the last few moments nung round na yun. Nakikita natin the hunter being hunted already. Considering that Execration is definitely doing what they can in order to put the fast pacing on their hands, and sila ang nag-i-initiate yun. Pero Lance, what a wonderful shot onto ZYK. And the pickoff has been gonna be advantageous one in the long run with some heavy presence in the mid stairs. Pero si Lance tumatrabaho pa din from yellow. Ayun.
Ooh, movement from CBN. Really good. Catching Nomad off guard. Di niya in-expect na malapit si CBN doon. Even, position noted. And Lance getting flashed off, pero hindi tumatama yung shots ni A-Even dito. Ayun. Until they do. And again, Execration, good opening kills. Buhay pa nga si Charleston dito with the AWM, holding on to A site, habang si CBN at si Charleston, at si A-Even naman rather, will be in that B site. Mid control for Fervid, so far so good. But they have to decide soon saan sila magpupush. LA ata ang punteriya nila dito, Moji.
I wonder what's going to be the game plan even here and the couple of members na working together so closely dito sa CA area. Jack will be able to take one of them down and also to si Ting, no? Working hand in hand wonderfully. CBN na lang ang naiiwan. A 1v2, not quite sure what is going to be the way for CBN in order to take out one of these members and make his life a bit more easier. He's gonna be taking this exit approach. Pero ang tanong would he be able to find clarity through the smokes? Nope.
Nope. He will not. Si Hadj
Wow.
makakita ng kalaban doon. And Fervid actually keeping this close. 2 to 3 for starters. As Fervid find the last round. Execration. And one of the big criticism sa Execration, no, is that early aggression, that individualistic aggression. It was working in the first 2 rounds, pero nakaka-adjust dito ang Fervid, no, na papunish na kapag nagpo-push dito ng Execration. And this is the round where they choose to minimize mistakes, which is good for Execration. It means na aware ang Execration sa mga mistake nila.
And even so though, they're definitely more focused here sa pagkuha ng mga pickups natin for Fervid, which is definitely understandable, lalong-lalo na sobrang talim din nila. Mga secure na mga one-taps from here and there and for lands as well. And given and granted na wala masyadong nag-extend on A side, this might actually be their ball. All of them gonna be pushing over and creeping over, with the possibility of some early contention at the vents area, if granted, at si Folex pa ang nandoon sa ilalim. So they better be careful about that one.
Nomad.
Uy!
Ooh, contact by Fervid. Really good. AE Ben, Paul X, parehong nalaglag.
Uy!
What an angle from ZYK.
What?
Mula sa Kiatan. Will be taking down Hodges. But that's a good start to this retake. Magagaling sa exit lahat ng players ng Execration waiting for the C4 to be planted. This is a good bait from Fervid. Not
Hirap
planting
yan.
the C4 yet. Nomad around the smoke. Good shots. And the entry is denied. ZYK finds one, but that's it. Good cleanup mula sa Fervid as they tie up the game. 3-3.
Wow! It seems like their positionings are on point, no? And even the crossfire angling and how they were able to work hand in hand in order to lock down yung exit na location at pinanggagaligan ng Execration. And so far though, you're gonna be seeing some quick trade-offs from Charleston and Jat. Medyo maging critically wounded itong si Jat Ting from our contention in the mid area, with lots of utilities being rained upon each other in different areas. So yun nga lang nga, Charleston definitely gonna be caught off guard from bypass. And might give them an idea that they can go through B, but they better be careful for ZYK dahil ayun na nga, alam na, wow, okay. The game sense is game sensing,
Exactly. Nomad, alam niya pa rin kahit nakapag-push na siya doon. Cleared up hotel, finding a kill. As you said, immense game sense mula dito kay Nomad. As Fervid still has a lot of angles to clear. It's a 2v2. Buhay pa si Fall X at si A even. And they're sticking together. That's the crucial part for Execration, is to try and play together. But the same could be said for Luns and Nomad. 4 of the best riflers in the lobby in a 2v2. Well, Luns is a sniper, but still. A KD God. A even shuts down Nomad. At si Luns na lang natitira with the C4 in hand. With 48 seconds, I think he has enough time to rotate. He can also isolate. A even is coming in from LB. Ooh, shot not connecting. As the position revealed and Fall X capitalize. Execration pull ahead 4-3.
Wow! I mean, despite the fact na nagkaroon tayo ng mga really early trades kung saan medyo naging mas malamang itong si Fervid, no? Seems like Execration has been able to do the necessary adjustments in order to corner the remaining member here from Fervid, definitely denying ding the capacity in order to commit into B-site. But now, CBN, sharper than ever, will be taking out si Haj with Nomad trying to respond as quickly as he can. Lance though will be taking some damage from Folex and he's gonna be keeping himself safe from that encounter for the meantime.
Medyo na-trap ang Fervid dito sa may hotel. Hindi sila makalabas. But they do have Lance just waiting for any potential lurks from Execration. Saktong-sakto, ZYK just coming in from LA from yellow.
Mm-hmm.
If he pushes any further, pwede niyo makita si Lance down in mid. Interesting approach from Fervid. Huddling up in hotel, expecting a push from the players of Execration. This is tailor-made para sa Execration. No? I love the macro play from Fervid dito. Lipat ng second mid. Even still in RS, barely misses the players of Fervid.
Wow!
Makakapasok ng batteries. Charleston
Wow!
not expecting, and Ting takes him down. Nandito pa nga sa long isa, and that's gonna be Charleston. Even coming in, and Fervid na botcha yung push, pero they will trade it out. It is a mind game between these two teams, and Fervid just barely in control of the site. Si Paul X andito pa rin, the exact same position. Jat pushing up. Hindi in-expect. Paul X making so much progress by staying in the exact same spot, and Lance has to find the 1v2. ZYK, Paul X up close. The AWM, medyo lugi siya dito. The Colt comes out, but it is not enough. Execration, that mid-round adjustment, beautiful.
Beautiful indeed. Man, ang ganda na sana, no? Placing Lance there, the trust that's been put in on him has been so good. Unfortunately, they weren't been able to get the job done, which is to put the C4 down. Pero itong si King ang day atang makikita in this area sa the bypass, pero makukuha niya pareho yan. It's a matter of separation. He's been able to do that on his own, and the rest of the people here parang nakahuddle lang sila dito, no, nakapila. And now the B site is theirs. The rest of the squad here from Execration will try to even out ang nating numbers the best that they can, despite of seeing multiple people in their paths and being blocked by the smoke grenade placed by them too.
Pitik para sa Execration, 3v4. Bypass play from Folex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good shot onto Nomad. ZYK finding one as well. And even to come in. They're closing in. Haj mag-isa na lang. Nasa loob na smoke in batteries. And will be taken down by Fall X. Execration, a 6-3 scoreline as we go into the second half. Ang ganda sana ng BL side ng ng Fervid. Tailor-made for the tendencies rather of Execration. But when it comes to mid-rounding, hindi nagpatalo ang Execration.
What's crazy to me is nagagawa ni Fervid to place every single block of advantage for them early rounds. But unfortunately, nagagawan lagi ng paraan ng Execration to, turn the tables into an 80 degrees. It's just crazy to witness. And right now, though, it's been quite a good half of adjustment dito for Execration. And parang dito nagsisink in sa akin yung mga sinabi nyo kanina na it's not just the numbers, like it doesn't do justice for Execration alone. Pero Teng would be taking the first blood here onto ZYK, which is quite of a loss here for Execration on the rather the BL side. But I wonder if they would be able to trade out itong si Ting. No, I should be taking out. Definitely being caught off guard on that one as Lance tries to answer back as well. Nagkakasagutan na sila in different corners, different areas, ang lalayo. But what matters is that the duels are definitely narrowing down the numbers here of Fervid as even has been able to take someone out dito sa bundong bypass that once again is all up to Lance here.
1v2. C4, di pa naitatanim, but Execration don't really need to. They could just take down Lance.
Ay.
Oh, even going down, and this is
Naku.
suddenly doable for Fervid. Good flash from CBN, who will challenge the smoke. Down in exit, a 1v1, and even CBN will win it for Execration. Crucial mistake para sa Fervid, Mochi. Naiwan nilang
Yeah.
nakabukas yung mid eh. And because of that, even wreaked havoc in RS. Ang dami niyang nakuwang space. Okay na sana eh. Na-recover na ni Lance. Pero yung mid-control, di nila nabawi. Paving the way for Execration to win the round. Meanwhile, CBN entering, taking down Ting, and opening up that hotel entrance. And nobody here to receive mula sa Fervid.
Real. Hajzo. Not quite sure what's going to be the game plan here from him. Medyo malalim siya sa B-site natin. Baka meron siyang nakita dito agad. Ayun na nga, gonna be damage from that encounter. And he's gonna be well aware that super close na. May pulse sa kanya. And he's gonna be able to take him out. There's gonna be another concurrent casualty here as this site here in B, it's definitely already a battlefield. Still, equalized numbers from both teams. Nantabayanan pa natin if masesecure nga ba nila ang objective dahil bantay sarado sila ngayon ni Lance at ni Nomad. Might possibly be pushing through dito sa smoke natin pero anticipated ni Nomad yun.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. I'm not quite sure what's going to be the game plan for A-Even kasi mamaya maispatan pa siya dito with the rotation that he's trying to do.
I like the call from Execration. Double swing Nomad. It's a
Uy.
good idea, kaso si Nomad yun eh. So we'll be able to win the duel
We're so
and
close.
force A-Even to go away, and Nomad still wins the second fight. There you go, Nomad. The savior of this round para sa Fervid. And they learned their lesson, no? Hindi na nila binigay yung mid this time around. And they win, deny the C4 plant. The Execration this time has to try something new. Hindi na pwedeng mag-mid control because the Fervid are reinforcing that area. But what they're not reinforcing is that A site. Kaso lang nag-push sila, and CBN anticipate na ubos sa second mid ng players ng Fervid. And suddenly, this defense is destroyed. Lance is down. It's just Nomad. Can you be the hero again? Playing around batteries. Oh!
Wow! Crispy!
CBN with the flick, and Nomad did not stand a chance. 8-4 in favor of Execration.
Di ko alam kung paano mo ano bang analyze mo doon? Nag-crossfire lang sila tapos di nila in-expect. May kasama si CBN and ZYK has been able to move mountains during that. Definitely impactful play from both of them. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna be pumping them up for the entirety of this half, no? Na yun na they can be in control of the pacing specifically. But Lance will be taking out ZYK with a one shot here from the bypass definitely occupied by Lance. Well aware sila doon, and there is them to the rescue. The rest of the squad will try to occupy and see if they can take some of the members here from Fervid. Pero ngayon medyo sugatan sila dito. They're still gonna try and try and finally eliminate every single one of them, and they would be able to do so. And you can see yung mga players natin yung Fervid, talagang motivated sila ngayon na makahabol, no? Kasi parang nakikita nila na kaya eh. Parang kaya nilang mahabol itong si Execration.
Exactly. But the thing you gotta remember is a big reason of why they're winning these rounds is because of Nomad. Kung mapapansin mo, Moki, every time na merong 2v2, 2v3, si Nomad yung natitirang buhay for Fervid. The fact is, Fervid need Nomad to pop off to secure these rounds, and they need more than that to win this game. Execration have been winning the map, and Fervid only has been winning the numbers game because of Nomad. So, medyo mahirap i-replicate yung ganun eh. Yung Nomad, kill them all. Medyo mahirap yung strat na ganun eh, no?
Totoo.
Fervid have to find more than just their star player. But they are staying afloat. That's important for now. Pero isang win na lang Execration will be at set point. And they want to deny that as much as possible. Mukhang ang sagot nila is that second mid push from Hutch.
May napansin ata si Sneaky din dito kay CBN ngayon eh. I feel like mas okay kung sila yung mag-bring up niyan later on. Pero as of the current time, yun nga tulad ng sabi mo, not the stairs area here at mid. There's gonna be some contention, some press, some shots being fired, and some idea gonna be given here from Fervid. Merong naroon. There's also gonna be some numbers na masusugatan from the encounters na makukuha nila from CBN specifically na naman, no? Parang siya yung umuubos ng mga buhay dito ng mga players natin. The counterpart as Nomad tries to prevent that from happening. Hadj might meet someone from this one and as well as tong si Jat. So right now though, ZYK will be taking out itong si Hadj and seems like they get an idea na mukhang sa B-side sila magko-commit. Charleston with a crispy shot onto Ting and all of them are just gonna be marching towards B.
At manggagaling sa LB dito, flash is coming in, Jat at the receiving end of things as Lons does go down. Oh, the play down in bridge, Charleston will be denied, but Execration still get the C4 planted in B site. How will you retake this? Nomad and Jat, the last two remaining players dito. Jat takes down Paul X and CBN sasagot agad. Nomad spammed away and ZYK will deny Nomad of any heroics. 9-5 tayo dito, set point for Execration.
Well, man, we're seeing glimpses of hope from Fervid. Yun yung gusto ko i-bring up. But it seems like right now there's no more room for mistakes here for Fervid. But good shot with the first blood here from Lance. Bypass still definitely gonna be occupied by them as well here by Execration. And seems like they are gonna be setting up themselves here, specifically itong sila. So be facing up against it, malapit-lapit directly. But ZYK and Voice will be able to answer back, which is something Fervid's gonna be wary about kasi nagro-rotate pa lang itong si Jatan as well, si Hadj malayo-layo pa. Some flash grenades and smokes being placed para sa Execration as they do their execute. CBN will be taking out Sonoma in the process and boy, would you look at that. Every single one falling down here. Wala nang tsansa para baka mapag-retake pa ata itong si Fervid but Hadj will try either way and what's gonna happen here will dictate the remainder of this map. We are gonna see this gonna be taken by Execration themselves. Seems like we are seeing some valiant efforts that's gonna come from Fervid, but sila pa rin ang nagtapos.
Yeah, Fervid definitely a valiant effort as you mentioned, but Execration, as I said, Mochi, they have a point to prove, and this is it's a testament. It's a testament to what they were setting out to do ever since Masters started. 10-5 if I'm not mistaken ang score dito na naipinta ng Execration. But what a start. What a start to this series. Fervid, well, there is some signs of life. Nomad shining bright in this game just wasn't enough.
Yeah, nice try. Definitely, no? I feel like this is gonna be some room for them to adjust forward lalo na nawala si Skies. Pero, oy, kita mo naman yung place ng kanilang stand-in, well, and he's been able to do a lot of impactful plays from the rounds that they've been able to take and even the rounds that they weren't been able to take. So, nice try for Fervid. I wonder what's going to be the answer para sa ating second map because I'm pretty sure that's gonna be challenge again, no? If hindi pa enough itong ating mapa support. But just shows na they can rise up to the occasion if there is that road na available para sa kanila. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more for Execration, lalong-lalo na kita mo naman, CBN, even, no? It's been so on point with their shots and the mid-round calls has been so impactful for them.
Yeah, I think at some point si CBN may 100% headshot percentage, no? And every kill, which is mind-boggling to think about. Execration, they look on fire today. At kita mo naman na pinaghandaan talaga nila ang Fervid. I mean, you can say the same thing the other way around. Fervid had some strats in the BL side na tailor-made talaga sa mga mga positional mistakes na ginagawa ng Execration. Pero the mid-round adjustment is just on another level for Execration. And I think that's something that really comes with experience. Experience that you cannot deny Execration has with their roster that they have as of now. Pero enough about us. I think mas maraming masabi dito si Bipolar tsaka si Sneaky. So Polar, take it away.
Well, thank you, Mochi, Dedum, and Vil. Ay, hindi pala. Sorry, hindi pala. Kami po ang inyong panel, Sneaky and Bipolar. What a matchup! It's game number 1 or set number 1 versus Execration and Fervid. Execration takes out game number 1, pero ang ganda ng pinakita ng Fervid doon.
Yeah, for sure. No, may mga spots naman na may magandang pinakita dito si Fervid. Obviously, a good performance galing kay Jat and kay Nomad. Obviously, going beyond itong 1.0 at 1 point. Pero yun nga, no, Execration, this is what happens when you just allow them to get free reign dito sa mapa. Granted na Fervid, no, mas passive yung kanilang defense from time to time more than anything. I don't think that's the way. Especially, man, kita mo naman si CBN, he is on a tear dito sa mapa natin, Ankara. And ayun nga, iba talaga yung nagagawa ng Baby Time in. Napapa 99% headshot percentage ka talaga. And ayun nga, I mean, everything's going in the way dito ni X, man. I mean, everybody's working at the same time. Para naman dito sa Fervid, yun nga, it's only 2 players, pare.
Yeah, totoo man. Napakatamis ng mga bala dito ng Execration, especially for CBN. Pero looking back at the highlights right now, may kita nyo naman, there was a lot of fight and promise coming in from Fervid and of course for Execration definitely. So nakita man natin, Folex still on the top of his game, getting a lot of headshots. Pero looking at CBN though, you were pointing this out, especially pag nakita natin probably the set MVP. CBN was playing out of his mind, basically like a robot, parang Terminator siya kung saan ang kalaban niya lang ay buong Fervid.
No, I mean, this is what we expect. Galing kay CBN, granted it wasn't the best start kasi ayun nga, Faultlex was just literally killing everyone right before him, pare. Pero ayun nga, by the time na round number 5 did pass through, feeling ko CBN starting to slowly warm up dito sa laruan natin, and we saw a masterclass of AK work galing sa kanya dito. But paano naman sa Fervid, I mean, it's one of Execration's best map. Even yung sa last team dito ni Aljon on Macta, they also loved yung mapa na Ankara. So, map number 1, it's everything's pointing for them to lose dito, pare.
Yeah, very much. So it was just bound to happen basically for Execration. Pero looking back at it, let's talk about Gaon Gaming for a little bit. They did have a very passive defense, pero attacking naman nila, it had some greatness into them. And one thing to point out, Fervid pala, one thing to point out is Jat, yung substitution dito for Fervid Esports, is that he really contributed a lot. Kung makikita nyo right now, yung kanyang stat line 7-7-3-2, going on par with a even CBN. Sinabi niya kanina sa ating interview na he really isn't haven't played with the team a lot. Nanonood lang siya. He is doing his work, homework as well sa mga games. Pero as a first time with his team dito sa ating Masters in the broadcast in these games especially, he actually played very well.
Yeah, I mean, you get what you get kung magsasabin ka lang talaga dito sa team. And I feel like for the expectations natin para kay Chat, which is 0 to none, pare, I did do pretty well. He played his role. Hindi siya nag-overcomplicate na kanyang laruan dito, but unfortunately wasn't enough to get Exe out dito sa ating account. Still, props pa rin. Props pa rin dito kay Chat. I mean, it's a rough situation na just to be subbed in immediately, especially knowing yung sitwasyon niya na sinabi niya dun sa interview. It's not much practice, more just watching from the behind, pero feeling ko may napansin naman siya from those scrims, pare.
Yeah, something to look out for as well. Tsaka hindi siya natatakot. He is almost he is like 50% leading the fray sometimes, or even when it's a 3v2 situation, siya pa yung unang mag-entry, and he gets those shots and he gets 1 kill for the trade. Pero let's look at a set summary right now after this set highlights ang ating set number 1 sa Ankara map. Execration versus Fervid. May kita nyo naman 1.56 KD on Folex, and CBN with a 211 kills per round niya, 1.27. Ayun na nga, pag-usapan natin headshot per kill dito, Sneaky.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, if I can remember, his last score was 17 kills and 16 of those were headshots.
Wow.
Pare. 28 AP, absolute monster of a talent, CBN. Mapapatanong na lang talaga ako kay A7J, man. Like, where did you find this kid, bro? Nung last stint nyo dito, kasi he was actually doing same thing against the best players in PH. So now with a better environment para dito kay CBN, can they keep the momentum going? Obviously, medyo naging rough yung first few games nila dito sa tournament, but it's all about that secret game, pare, not gonna lie. And if CBN can perform exactly like this, nako po, baka sila pa kayo pakalagpas dun.
Totoo man. Parang looking at the journey again sa kanilang matches after this, baka if CBN really does continue this performance together with Folex and the rest of this team, they can definitely soar above the skies. Kasi for Fervid right now, looking at set number 2 mamaya, for them, kailangan mo i-tame yung beast na si CBN kasi if you don't tame him, if you don't target him, mag-unleash lang lalo yan, and the rest of the Execration squad will definitely thrive off that feeling. Pero ito na nga CBN, napaka-angas mo naman sir with a 2.11 KD, and again, a measly, sobrang angas na 0.95 headshot per kill.
Ayun nga, he's probably gonna be leading the charts once again dito nga sa Segun sa previous. Ay nga man, the kid is just insane. Hindi ko talaga, I can't really describe how good he is kasi it really is beyond words na even for me na sobrang experience na nagkakas ng CF, like I have not seen someone who is as good on the AK-47 as itong si CPN. Siguro closest would be maybe dito sa Pilipinas, maybe si Folex, and he's on the same team.
Yeah, parang kung kinuha mo ni isa, kinuha mo pa yung pangalawa magaling din. So medyo when looking at the big picture, Execration really is in the wrong spot sa ating standings because they are at the bottom of that top 4. So medyo we were expecting them to get that top spot or one of those top spots, but right now they're showing that they can definitely come back from something na talagang nasa ilalim pa.
Yeah, and the opportunity for playoffs dito pare is still here para sa Execration. They're gonna go up against it is probably gonna be all about that TS versus X in a matchup pare na kung sino naman yung makapasok sa playoffs dun.
Yeah, very much so. Parang sarap din isipin na malapit na mangyari yung ganun. Pero everybody, it's gonna be a hot matchup later on, especially na 1-0 ng at Execration. It's Fervid Esports trying to also just battle them out. Nakita naman natin na with the addition of Jat, they can possibly just rampage through them. But Execration looking very much greater than before. And we'll be right back for a little bit of a short break together with Sneaky Frog and Bipolar dito sa ating panel. CFPH Masters will be right back. The continuation of the Wild Dogs versus the Feral Boys coming in from Fervid Esports. What a term coming in from my mind. Pero grabe yun. Again, set number 1 coming in from Execration gets them a 1 point away from getting the whole series against a Fervid. Sneaky Frog on the desk. Kamusta tayo dyan?
Yeah, pretty much chilling pare. Actually pretty happy na may onting laban galing dito sa Fervid from map number 1, especially yun nga, meron tayong nakita galing kay Nomad at kay Jat, but unfortunately wasn't enough to stop the CBN train and Folex train and the rest of the Exe shot siguro. But yeah, hopefully we see something sa map number 2, pero I'm not so high on it kasi for GR side Exe. You do the math pare.
Yeah, parang kasi ay nako po, it's Execration's map. For me lang it's Execration map from the first 2 maps until the decider. Tulad nga sinabi mo, GR side yung starting nila. It might be a detrimental factor na kailangang harapin agad ng Fervid dito, but still, then again, they can probably just do it once again. Kailangan lang nila targetin si CBN, make him fall to his knees, and possibly let Folex again take over para onti na yun, process of elimination, try to take things slow. But let's see, parang hindi kasi gumana yung slow-paced gaming ng Fervid doon against the Wild Dogs or the Execration na talagang diretso lang ng diretso.
For sure, man. It got to a certain point na Execration were just literally W pushing sa isang side ng mapa, and I think nangyari yun in Hotel actually in 8-5 yung score. Ayun nga, that's not a natural strat pare. In Execration, I feel like they knew na the foot was already on the neck dito ng Fervid GT pare, and all they had to do was step on it. So, ayun nga, opportunity for Execration to get a big lead dito sa first half. Para naman sa Fervid, if they can get like 3 sa BL, wouldn't be too bad para sa kanilang second half, honestly.
Yun nga, medyo we are now getting ready for our set number 2 saan I think this is gonna be a great map for these two teams. Execration versus Fervid. Mochi and Daedom, kayo naman.
Maraming salamat, Bipolar! Tayo na ngayon nandito para sa ating set number 2 in Port. We're going into Port for our potential series concluder between Execration and Fervid. And surprise pick sa atin to na Fervid picked up Port and let Subbase, or actually made Subbase to be our third map dito. So everything riding here on Port. If Fervid can win this, pwede silang umabot sa Subbase kung saan mataas ang tsansa na makipagbakbakan sila ng may lamang against the Execration. You think we're gonna get there, Mochi?
Pwede. Kaya lang kasi, the second map is already done and dusted, then I don't know, just by basing from history talaga, this is one of Execration's better maps as well. So, there's gonna be another challenge for Fervid. I mean, they've been able to extend themselves, no? Breach the boundaries. Kung anong makakaya nilang gawin kanina. So, malay mo magawa uli nila yun, but better. Because there are some of trends na ng unang map, nakikiramdam, second map, kaya na pala. So, hopefully we can see something like that heading into this, most specifically that it seems like yung stand-in natin may mga some quite of a very impactful plays kanina na kaya niyang ma-bring heading onto our second match.
Yeah. Speaking of impact, you gotta address EBN. Almost 100% yung headshot per kill niya dito. Sabi nga ni Sneaky, if magpatuloy lang to, we might see this night end quickly. Especially in Port. I mean, nakagulat kasi na pinili ng Fervid ang Port as a map that is tried and tested for Execration. Which, I guess you can say as well for Fervid, but admittedly not the same level as Execration. One of the favorite maps din naman ng Fervid ang Port. It's not as high as Subbase, but it is one of their more consistent maps along with Black Widow and Subbase. So, yeah, medyo kagulat-gulat na pinili nila yung isang mapa kung saan malakas ang Execration. Parang sinasabi nila dito, bring it on. We've got it. We've got Port covered. Tingnan natin. Especially because they're starting on the BL side. Because of the fact na sila yung pumili ng mapa, of course, Execration picked the GR side to begin with. So, BL, yung panimula dito ng Fervid. Second Port map we're gonna be seeing here today. At kanina nakita naman natin another David Goliath matchup, yung Evos versus Gaon. So, pretty much the same story dito. Comfortable yung Goliath natin, which is Execration in Port. And Fervid, trying their chances in this map. Ano yung natatimbre mo dito, Mochi? Will Nomad be able to outshine CBN or is it gonna be more of the same?
I feel like there is a possibility na mangyari yung last map, no? Na ganun din yung mangyayari, rather. Pero malay mo naman, meron pala silang baon, which is the reason why they chose this map. Pero let us see, because we're gonna be diving right back in here in the Port map, and seems like they're already on the move here.
Okay. Fervid on the BL. Remember, LALB. Parehong iniingayan dito ng Fervid. Flashes being used in B. Pero mag-isa lang doon si Lanza. It is everyone else moving towards LA. Pivoting Charleston or funneling a lot of the nades onto Charleston. Na popcorn na nga si Charleston from up above. And immediately Execration calling for the rotation. Lumipat si ZYK into A. That leaves mid open. Uy, good bait and switch wala sa Fervid.
Na-popcorn si bro. And medyo napatigil ang mundo ng Execration right after that one, and they're gonna be holding quite some passive positions sa spawn and also sa entrada ng B site. But also, we are yet to see if merong makukuha mga pickups dito din sila. So never mind, they're gonna be staying close to each other, making the most out of the advantage na nakuha nila from the A pickoff earlier on, and they might attempt to push forward the A-long muli.
Bait and switch and switch. Balik lang sila dito sa A kung saan sila nakakuha ng opening kill. Si ZYK will be on the other side waiting for anyone to push close onto CBN's position. But still, a lot of A priority mula dito sa Fervid. Mid-push from A even sa Ninja nakita. And Haj will be taking him down. But ZYK through the smoke takes down Ting. Fall X manggagaling sa mid. ZYK good for another. And the sniper angles are just so deadly from the defense as Nomad gets left all alone. Gets the kill but not the trade. CBN will be doing so. An Execration with a hold from ZYK keeps A site in control.
Parang dun ka matatakot no? Yung medyo matagal na tinabahong dalawang pick-off ng Fervid, ilang segundo lang kay Execration bago nila makuha yun. Specifically pushing forward dito sa mid area natin as they try to funnel down all the members here at A. Charles said daw na early pick-off here dito kay Haj at mukhang maaaring masundan pa ng trade, pero hindi na raw ata nilang pangangahasan i-attempt yun except for Jat. Might be looking out for some possible people. You see, even pa, makakaharap niya, but he's not even looking at the best area. Ting though will not, to see Fall X will not get a chance to see him. Sa ibang lugar din siya nakatingin. So, that's gonna be a quick and major trade habang mas lamang pa rin si Execration. Ngayon ay hindi na as Sting is willing to push forward and try to secure every single person inside, being assisted by the rest of the squad. It's all up to Charleston, critically low in terms of HP, and would not last any more longer.
Yeah, good stairs play mula kay Ting. Crucial mistake. Yung Execration, di nila na-clear yung hagdan. So Ting will be taking the double kill, taking the round for Fervid. 1-1 ang score natin. And this time, parang standard yung 4-1 split dito ng Fervid. This time, 4 of the players moving towards Cat. Pero andun si CBN. Takes down Ting. ZYK from LA as well. So A is a stronghold for Execration. Good pick from ZYK to take down Luns. And kailangan umalis ng Fervid dito. Wala pa rin silang nakukuhang space from Cat.
Push silang umatras dun sa bodega, no? Na medyo na free yung headache. Nawala kay CBN because maaring marami sanang magpupush sa kanya doon, pero pinangunahan na agad ng mga grenades at flash. But CBN, iba ata ang plano. Will be taking out itong si Jat and has been able to secure more intel than wanted. And they already have a good idea kung saan naglalagi itong si Haj as Nomad tries to put himself in a position anticipating any possible pushes, pero no. Execration is definitely just holding down every single site na meron dito, playing it safe, except for ZYK.
Who will swing and get taken out by Nomad. Yeah, a bit aggressive mula kay ZYK, pero okay lang. They still have 4 people left standing. Nakakaamoy na nga si CBN with the sniper up above sa A site. Swing, flick, good shot from CBN. But Nomad finds the trade despite the good angle from CBN. Good flash, another good flash. There's a lot of time being bought by the utility. Tatlong flash yung kinain doon ni Nomad. There's a lot of time wasted away because of the util. And Nomad good for one more before going down. Execration 2-1, but the trend continues. Si Nomad pa rin yung biggest headache dito habang kumukuha ng sobrang daming kills dito ni CBN.
True. And it seems like they're very much focused on their goal and narrowing down the possibilities dito kay Fervid, pero pinangunahan na kaagad ito ni Ting ngayon. Even be able to take a couple of people down in here. Medyo napalalimata ng sobra si Fervid. From bridge and heading into hopefully or possibly B, pero hindi talaga nila in-anticipate that they even is gonna be right around the corner. ZYK will be waiting for any person na dadaan sana dito o paputungo dito sa A-site natin alongside with CBN. This is gonna be pretty much an explosive one waiting to happen. No, a shot is crazy from this guy, and he is not backing down anytime soon. Very much confident after taking that pick off. Atras kaagad.
Nakakatakot. CBN with the confidence, catching a timing. And medyo impatient din yung Fervid doon, no? Could have waited for the smoke to fully bloom bago mag-rotate, pero did so without waiting for the smoke to pop, and CBN took advantage. Yan, medyo nahihirapan sila. They do have control of the C4 for now, but there's only 1 minute left to play with, and 2 people left standing for Fervid. I think they've decided on A site. Uy. Good catch onto A even as Jat takes him down. At lilipat si CYK sa A sa taas. Good position. Good reposition. Kaso bababa ulit Ano bang play dito ng Fervid? Lilipat ng mid.
Nako. Medyo kinakabahan ako para sa kanila. May idea na si Execration kung nasaan sila. And ZYK will be taken out here by Lance though. Wonderfully done. It's all up to Fall X and his AK. The question is, would he be able to take them down? Segregate them? Parang possible, but no, they're just gonna be focusing themselves here into a safer spot. Leveraging through the wall banks na pwede nilang magawa dito sa windows. But Fall X running outside, but sobrang nag-alay ng kanyang shots on that area. Wonderfully done. Now Lance, the would try to connect this one shot, that one kill. Unfortunately not, but the Cog would get the job done. Fervid will be taking this round for them. Lapit ata the scorelines natin ngayon.
Tense 1v2 Fall X. Pag si Fall X kasi lagi natitira, nakakatakot But Lance with the quick adjust will be able to take him down, and that's 2-2 ang ating score. Going into round number 5. Fervid putting up again a surprising amount of fight back against Execration. Keeping the early game dead even. Pero ganito rin yung first map natin no? The problem for Fervid has been keeping the score close. And so far, so good.
Aga pa no? I mean, they have 5 more rounds, so it's all up for grabs for either of them, and the challenge for Fervid is to get an edge from them early on. Hindi ko connecta ang wallbang doon, but they're quite a bit scattered all over the map here for Fervid, and they're still gonna be taking a huge space possibly for A site as si Charles said ang nagmamata nung sino man magpapakita sa A long, but C4 is not even on their hands, so it's a matter of like scouting for any information or any pickups that they can get in order to give them the great advantage as they commit.
No advantage yet so far though, still a 5v5.
Wala, impassive ni Execration right now.
Which for the most part is kind of a good thing for them. Minimize mistakes, play standard. As Fervid somewhat making a bit of progress down mid. CBN taken low, ZYK going down, but the trade is good from CBN as Jat goes down. Good pick up from A even with the perfect timing to get a double kill. Si Lance magagaling mula sa entrance, mula sa house at Lance. Getting a challenge of recovering that C4 in a 1v1 against A even. And it still gets won by CBN. What a hold from A even. What a peak. And what an angle.
Grabe! Si bro ay literally nag-crutch lang dun, no? But, just gonna be waiting and peeking at the best time possible. I feel like it's not a matter of, wait lang, like dead round. I'm not quite sure if the last round is yung dead round o yung ngayong round ay yung dead round. But either way, well, you can see kung anong pwedeng may offer ni even here on the table. And seems like mapapa-wow lang talaga tayo. It's sometimes it's 90% timing and 10% of getting the shots right kasi it's just ewan ko, sinong makikita mo. And whatever sound cues you will get, it's all up to you how you be able to make the most out of it. Talaga.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's the decision making of the players dito, no? And they even showing us that he does not crack under the pressure. Guys, we'll just try and reset the game habang inaayos natin yon. A quick reminder for everyone, kung nakikita nyo yung pin comment dyan sa baba, pwede kayong sumali sa pag-uusap namin dito nila Moji and the Sneaky and Bipolar. Just ask a question. Ask an interesting question about Crossfire. Pwedeng about a player, pwedeng about a map, pwedeng about a team dyan sa comment section. At pwede natin yan ma-feature later on. Just make sure it's related to Crossfire. Ganun. Related sa Crossfire na tanong, and we will try to answer it all throughout the broadcast. And potentially kahit umabot ng next week, no, baka ma-feature din yung comments ninyo, no. So make sure to do that, and make sure to watch our streams as well. Kung hindi nyo alam, meron din tayong Impact ongoing at the same time as Masters. Yung schedule natin is every Wednesday and Thursday, meron tayong Impact. Friday, meron tayong preview show, parang podcast na kami-kami din yung makikita nyo along with Vil. Shoutout kay Vil, andito siya kanina. And of course, every Saturday, Sunday ang schedule ng ating Masters. Guys, week number 5 na tayo, day number 10. Meron na lang tayo natitirang 2 linggo ng group stage ng Masters at palapit na ng palapit ang playoffs. Top 4 ang kuha natin sa playoffs. So, patindi na ng patindi ang mga laban natin.
Palala ng palala din yung growth ng mga teams natin, no? And these are already the times wherein we're already gaining some clarity kung ano yung mabubuga ng mga teams, hanggang saan sila or hanggang saan lang sila for the time being, and what's going to be their plan of action moving forward, and especially na parang done and dusted na rin na andyan si Evo, si Ubek, si Pacific. Seems like yung fourth spot natin nagpapatayan pa yung mga teams na malalapit-lapit yung mga round differential and as well as yung scores for our leaderboard. So, if they won't apply pressure, it's about time. Ito na yon, and they should make or do the most or utmost effort na kaya nilang makuha for the last 6 remaining days here in our Masters.
Yeah, and you have to remember as well, hindi lang top 4 pinaglalabaran natin dito. Top 4 qualifies for the playoffs, pero top 6 papasok sa regionals. And I'm looking at the standings right now, no. Magkakadikit lang ang score so far ng Execration, Team Acceptance at Gaon Gaming, no. So, yeah, you have to consider that as well. Sila yung currently sitting at number 5, number 6 at number 7. And pinaglalabanan din nila yung last 2 final slots doon sa top 6 natin. While medyo malayo na rin yung agwat ng top 4, pwede pa rin naman silang matibag dito ng Execration. Kasi kung nakita natin yung schedules ng Execration, I think kaya nilang mag-qualify pa sa top 4 if they win all remaining matches na meron sila dito, no. Pwede pa nilang i-dethrone ang Team Secret who currently sits at number 4. So, mahigpit talaga ang laban natin. And yung sa taas naman ang pinaglalaban nila, yung top 2 spots na lang dito. Evos, Pacific Macta, and Ubek Maniac. Pretty much secure na sila going into the playoffs. And excited to see ang mga susunod na matches kung saan sila ang magkakalaban-laban. Speaking of which, may nagtatanong kanina, kailan lalaban ang Pacific Esports? They are fighting sa isang linggo, sa Sabado, no, up against Fervid. Excited to see sa isang linggo Team Secret versus Execration naman on Sunday. And then on week 7, the final week, 2 weeks from now, aabangan ko dito yung Pacific Macta versus Secret. And then Ubek Maniac versus Evos. Yun talaga yung grand finale ng group stage natin.
Oo, ang init, no? Ewan ko sinabi mo yung pinakahuling series kay Evos siya kay Ubek, parang na-flashback ako nun back in regionals last year. That's crazy. That's a crazy one, not gonna lie. Pero we are gonna be heading and going back sa ating laro just in a bit. Standby lang kayo dyan. Grab your snacks, grab your dinners, at sama-sama nating papanoorin ang laban ng Map 2 of Fervid and as well as Execration. And by the way guys, konti info lang tayo, no? 1-0 na Execration ang lamang, and this time we are gonna see if kaya ba i-pull ng Fervid into third map.
Yes sir. Execration meeting a lot of resistance dito sa GR side nila. CBN nasa cut, nakita yung ulo. Meeting who will get the headshot. Ay, CBN. Worst timing to go down. And Haj just able to kill him from that cat push. And again, LA position will be challenged by Fervid, successfully so. Could be another one of those bait and switch rounds mula sa Fervid na eventually babalik din sa LA.
And mukhang Fervid na naman muli ang merong advantage ngayon, no? Dito talaga sila nagtatrive sa mga early rounds natin. It's just a matter of what's going to be the call as the round progresses. Because they already got a couple of picks here, an A, and one might lead them to think that this is where they should be committing, and that's what they would do. Charleston already falling down the hands of Jat and the rest of the squad here, at madadagdagan pa, merong matatamaan ng grenade here. Si Lance lang naman yun. Is critically low in terms of HP, pero hindi pa man din natatapos ang kanyang buhay, ay yung KE even ay mawawala na.
Nice shot from Folex. Good swing out, Folex with the transfer. And it's a 1v2, pero Folex making it feel doable. Haj, Nomad, both 1 HP. And Folex with Colt in hand, hoping to make some magic happen.
Wow.
Folex finds Haj. Nag-iisa na lang si Nomad dito. And Folex have successfully isolated, pero kulang. Nomad takes him down. What a round. But Fervid win it all. 3-3.
Nakakatakot yun. Nakakatakot pagka si Full X na naiiwan. Oh my. But at least Fervid managed to make it work out, no? And as they try to establish some presence here sa bandang house area natin and mid, there is going to be this possibility wherein they might engage with CBN at the bridge area. Medyo nakakaba. They're just gonna be there staring at each other side by side while wala pang nagsiswing sa kanila. Not quite sure if narinig si Ting Dun though. But LA might actually be the point of contention as well, as we might see Nomad and Jat try and peak, no? Maaaring tumingin din sila dito so far, but they really want this round, and sobrang ingat nila gumalaw, which is definitely evident from what we're seeing so far.
Yan na naman tayo sa push ng LA, pero this time si CBN yung gagawa nun. Challenging cat. Ting right there as well, providing entrance. But CBN on an off angle. Wala pa sila nakikita. Nomad clearing every single corner, pero hindi nakita sa CBN. Charleston on the board as well. And the M3 flagger Ting will be taken out by Charleston as well. What a shot on that AWM, as Execration taking down the players of Fervid 1 by 1. There you go. 5 or 4-3. Favor of Execration, and another elimination round win para sa kanila.
Wow. Ito na naman tayo sa mid-round calling ng Execration. Doon talaga sila nagtatrive, no? So far. Yay, napakalala. Even yung cheeky positioning ni CBN, malatawa ka na lang yun. Ay, nandun pala siya. It would look awkward at first, but it works. As long as it works, of course, you're bound to do it again and again. And we're seeing some early trade-offs here from Nomad and as well as K-Fall X. And right now, they will be putting themselves back into safety, hovering more in quite a passive position, while yung mga members natin for Execration will just stand their ground in both sides. And currently daw, Jat onto Charleston, wonderfully done. Dahil nilang nag-pick doon, kahit kung ako si Charleston, I'm not quite sure how I would be able to address that.
Execration starting off with 2 people down compared to Fervid, who just lost Nomad. CBN mag-isa sa LA, sa A actually. And ZYK, A even, both picking up a rifle. Medyo mabagal yung approach dito ng Fervid, keeping Execration guessing. And the C4 retrieved finally by Ting. Marami pa silang options dito. Could go B, could go mid, could go A. A lot of paths towards those sites as well. Pero nagpo-push na dito CBN on the hunt. Looking for a little bit more information. Wala siya nakita sa RS kaya babalik siya ng A. So potential options are LB and mid. And papasok si CBN in mid just to check.
Ooh.
In bridge, nakita niya na nga si Haj and will be losing the duel. It's Haj thing on the board, leaving ZYK all alone in the site with the Colt in hand, getting a double kill. Labas ang sniper. Good nade, and it draws attention from ZYK to take him down. What a play from Haj. Ginamit niya as a flash yung frag grenade niya doon. Napatingin si ZYK. And Haj winning the duel, keeping us into an equal scoreline, 4-4. Ito na naman tayo, Charleston with the takes down Jats. Walang flash, walang smoke, and Charleston will be taking advantage. The AWM swing out again. Charleston! Triple kill. Looking for more, Sinoman magpupush na nga mula sa ilalim, but A's site is an absolute battleground with Charleston murdering the players of Fervid. Paul X takes down Nomad, and Luns coming in from behind will be left all alone in a 1v3, Mochi.
They're trying to attempt for a trade here pero parang hindi talaga binigyan ng chance ng Execration na magawa yon, and instead it's all up to Lance here trying to find his way and a different approach from putting himself on mid and possibly somewhere else rather than LA because he's quite too far. Yung C4 wala sa kanya and he's holding an so the best that he could do is try to play or pickups, kaya lang kasi syempre kung nasa yun na yung C4, ba't ka palalayo, diba? And he is gonna be struggling for quite a bit here as every single point of entry is just gonna be occupied by Execration themselves. And I wonder what's going to be the next step for him as he tries to gravitate towards patungong LA na naman muli. 55 seconds on the clock. Man, this is gonna be quite a stretch for him.
Hirap din kasi mag-push pag sniper yung hawak mo. So you have to be very slow, very careful.
Ayun!
Oh, and Charleston's just absolutely ready. 5-4.
Tulog.
A good GR half for Execration. They managed to take the advantage just barely dito, Mochi. So it could be in for a long one. Kasi gotta remember, GR-sided tong mapang to, no? But Fervid made it feel like an equal battleground.
Yeah, she's talaga pinagantaan nila to, no? Which is great, which is wonderful. We're seeing some improvements from Fervid themselves. So, props na rin sa mindset ng mga players natin and how impactful every single one of them are. Kasi parang sa ngayon, pagka nakita mo yung mga pangalan nilang nakahilera dyan, alam mong may masasabi kang something na ginawa nila in a specific encounter, specific round, or specific map. Pero tayo ibabalik muli with now the sides are gonna be swapped. So I wonder what's going to be the change in terms of addressment of objective dito kay Execration, no? Because they definitely thrive dito sa mid-round calling natin, pero what if idaan nila sa brute force? Kasi earlier on tinatry nilang gawin yon and nagagawa nila na maganda, specifically from our first map.
Well, let's see. From a strategic point of view, it's not the most convincing na strategy, no, going for the brute force, but if it works, why not? Tingnan natin, Execration moving to the BL side with a round advantage for Vid. Uy, medyo aggressive yung position nila dito. Nasa loob ng B house and then pushing down mid as well from Connector. And look at how close the angles are for Vid. Baka hindi to i-expect ng Execration who are going for a cat ninja play.
Yun na nga eh. Ang dahil nilang magkakalipit dito, medyo nakakakaba eh. But ZYK though seems like he already has an idea. Some couple of members here, pero si Lance, ayan na naman, nagsisimula na naman ng mga early pickoffs ni Lance. But question is, alam niya ba, maiispatan niya ba dito si Paul X as ZYK takes out itong si Haj? Nasa bandang itaas pa man din siya. May makukuha pa siya dito. Ting will be falling down. The hands of Polex himself. Shows and ZYK na nga naiiwan dito. C4 is not even their hands as of the current time. But it's all up to them in terms of the wraparound. No man
Wow.
taken out by Charleston here. Wonderfully done. And it's all up to Lance. Nasa kanyang C4. Pero ang tanong ay hanggang kailan ZYK would be able to rummage through him as simple and as quick as that.
Man, bakit ganun yung M4 ni ZYK? Ang accurate. Bakit pag ako yung
May
nag-M4
magnet, no?
hindi naman ganun. Ang layo pa eh. Ang layo pa nung angle niya. But still, he could connect the shot. What a shot. And what a round for Execration and ZYK. Who will pick up round number 10 for themselves. 6-4 ang score natin. A lot of LB presence being asserted by Execration, who will be denied by Haj. Nomad taking 1 kill each. A even Sasaw-saw, but will only get 1. CBN to find his own. That leaves us in a 2v2. Habang papasok ng B-side dito, si CBN waiting for the C4 to be planted. Fervid just lying in wait from the close angle coming in from RS. Pero ito na, papasok na. Lance finds one in trade of Charleston killing Jat. At papasok mula sa malapit na box dito si CBN. Lance pushing up, naka-om, naka-Colts, fighting the duel. CBN chipped down to 40 HP, and Lance, maling angle titignan mo, boss, and will fall down to the hands of CBN. A round that Execration needed to deny, and they will 7-4.
Gusto ko yung nagkaroon pa ng opportunity si Lance na mag-cha-cha dun eh, no? At least nagawa naman ang paraan ito ni CBN. And right now, before we even know, it's already a 7-4. Tatlong round na lang ay matatapos na ng Execration ng laban natin na ito. At yun ay kung hahayaan na ito ng Fervid. Some damage will be taken by Folex and Nay even from the grenade being thrown at them by Nobad. But naka-occupy lang sila dito sa bodega natin. Mukhang A-site ang kanilang punterya. Ayan naman. It's all up to Lance and Jat. Ano ang kanilang game plan when this time strikes into the execution na binabalak ng Execration dito ngayon.
Ito, dalawa ba? Tatlo? 3 people under CA. Hinintay lang mag-push dito yung kalaban. And they will catch him off guard. Jat taken down by 3 people crouching. Si Lance nag-isa dito sa taas ng A. What a quick scope. Takes down A even, and Lance a stronghold. ZYK expected from that mid angle. And si Charles na lang mititira mag-isa dito. Sa mid din siya manggagaling. Imba jumping to lessen the noise. Di nila alam. This could be an opportunity for Charleston to catch Nomad off guard.
Humawak niya.
Uy, nakita niya pero the shot does not connect. And Charleston revealing his own position. Rotated towards Kat. Colt in hand. Lance taken away. Good headshot from Charleston. 2 more in the way. 40 seconds. Ay, di na itama yung shot niya doon. But a quick scope onto Ting. And Nomad trades it out. Muntik na naman tayo doon. But Fervid able to win the 3v1. 5-7. Fervid slowly fighting back.
Kala ko may iba pa ang ihip ng hangin. But before we even know it, they're just 2 more rounds away before the numbers are gonna be equalized here by Fervid. And once again, tulad na sabi natin kanina, hindi reliable ang pagbo-brute force dito or like a synchronous attack, because there will be some times where certain angles will not be occupied themselves, and seems like Fervid is already catching their drift on that one. And mid area, possibility of taking someone out early this time, which is something that they would want. Fervid is quite passive and being on the GR side, because seems like they're pretty much confident in terms of their retakes so far. Ito na naman muli sila sa bandang bodega. Meta taon na. And possibly others pushing forward, but through the smoke, through the wall, Ting will be able to take someone out, and as well as Nomad. They're working hand in hand in this one. The springs are definitely connecting for the May even. Already good for 1, pero ang tanong dito ay paano tatapatan ni Charleston itong 4 na naiiwan galing sa Fervid ngayon. Wala pa man din yung C4 sa kanya.
At least he's can see it. Nakinig siya dito sa mid, Ting knows Chilson was in mid. Anticipating the C4 to have already been taken dito, but Execration down to just one player. So Fervid, hindi sila masyadong kabado kasi alam nila na they could just hold their ground. And Ting knows that Charleston is close and will be
Ayun.
able to win the duel with that M467 Fervid.
Naku!
Nakakabawi dito, Mochi.
Kabawi si Fervid. I am not quite sure what is happening here for Execution, but all I know, that is a good thing for Fervid. And currently, Laz will be taking it out. What a good positioning. Definitely anticipating na merong tatao doon. Paul X be falling down. Wait lang, para nag-audition na kayo. Not a good thing here for Execration themselves. Especially being blocked through the smoke. Pero merong edge and idea itong si Fervid where they are gonna be coming from. ZYK falling down the hands of Ting. As even a CBN now left alone here. Occupying different areas, trying to regroup themselves to hopefully get someone out dito sa Fervid. But the question is if they can, because they're gonna be entering enemy's territory from here on.
Grabe tong angle ni Nomad. Very close.
Ooh.
But will win the fight into the double kill. Nomad.
Wow!
Single-handedly holding down the house. And taking his team to 7. 7-7 tayo dito. Execration have got to do something drastic.
What the heck? What the heck is happening? For some reason, lahat ng mga shots nila tumatama through the wall. And hindi man lang alam ng Execration kung saan sila papwesto if that is gonna be the case. Because all of the shots na nanggagaling from Haj, Ting, and as well as Ja are actually phenomenal in connecting so far. And hindi lang na si Nomad at si Lance ang nag-step up. Lahat ay mayroon ng galaw. ZYK will be taking tremendous amount of damage from that position sa ating doors. And Charleston's looking into getting some pickups onto this one, pero parang may kalamangan ba rin talaga si Fervid when most of they're already in GR in this map.
Parang nga eh. I don't know how. But every round, Fervid feels like they're in control. Particularly on this BL side. Lalim ng position nila dito, no? Expecting Execration to make a move on them. Flash comes in down mid. Bit of a challenge. Double push from Nomad and Haj. Yun na nga, Execration with the punish from the aggressive defense. Good anticipation from Execration. That's the adjustment they're looking for. CBN magpipeak. Ting the entry frag, finding out where A even is hiding. Good double from Ting. And suddenly Fervid put themselves in a good position to get this retake going. Pero ZYK magagaling sa likod. The AWM with a lurk! Nahuli si Jats. And suddenly Fervid have nowhere to run. House is a death trap as Charleston pushes up. And suddenly Execration pull that trigger on the conversion round. 8-7. Execration are not done yet.
Pre, sasabihin ko lang napakalayo ni ZYK, but he really made the most out of that. We're in reporting every single area kung saan na ang mga membro natin dito from Fervid, and even getting almost a couple of kills and cornering the two people na nandoon sa House B. Pero ang tanong ay, would they be able to inch it further, no? Kasi parang ginagatekeep sila ng Fervid to take this map for themselves and call it a day, but parang ayaw talaga Fervid. They really want this so bad. Napahirapan sila dito, and the scores are closer than ever.
It is. And Execration, nakuha nila yung punishment last round.
Yeah.
They anticipated the double LB push rather dito ng Fervid. Kaya ngayon,
Yung
mabagal
angle
na
ni
yung
Nomad.
playstyle. Oh, Nomad.
Nandun uli siya. Medyo nakakatakot. And
Tingnan mo si
Jat
Jat.
Jat is trying to lurk. And it's gonna work! Wow! Okay. And after taking that kill, mamba out na uli siya.
Yeah, good discipline mula kay Jat, no? Exactly what you need from a lurk. Lipat position. Nakita ni ZYK, the duel being won by ZYK. Evening it out.
It's a stack.
This is a gamble, but it might just work for Fervid.
Okay. C4 holder natin na si ZYK. They might possibly go through A, no? You're thinking na baka anticipate sa kanila yon, but actually that would have been a good decision for them to do, but it seems like they're gonna be leaving ZYK here on House B. Keeping themselves safe. Nomad, where he has an idea, Hatch critically low in terms of HP being damaged, but ZYK falling down into the hands of Nomad.
Wow.
All up to the 3 remaining members here from Execration. They're looking better than ever. Shots connecting here from Lanza. Every single one of them being eliminated. And look at that. 8-8 scoreline. This is so huge for Fervid.
And this is why Fervid picked this map against Execration, against a team that loves playing Port. Fervid are moments away from getting set point against Execration, from pushing us into game 3. Execration, I think they've only won 2 rounds sa ating BL side. You can see just how much they're struggling to penetrate these sites by Fervid. Di man lang sila nakakapag-trim ng C4 much.
True.
And every round using as much time as they can.
Napaka-on point ng mga adjustments and as well as yung mga pickups dito, no? I feel like if I was in the side of Execration, medyo magtataka ako. Why is it that every single wallbang na ginagawa nila is kumukonekta sa members natin, definitely making them hesitate on whichever execution they want or trying to do. But there's already tons of them here,
Jat.
Jat. Nako po, marami ka
Ayun.
makikita. But he's gonna be taking a couple of them. I don't know where they're looking for, pero CBN will try to equalize the numbers again. Now a 3v3. And now CBN trying to occupy the A side for the team. It seems like there's gonna be a lot more time for execution, but they are already here. It is free, it is already theirs, and it's just a matter of anchoring if they can keep the Fervid people away from them. Oh no, this is not looking good for Execration right now because there's 3 more people and may nadaplisan pa kanina, no? Pero let us see if they can keep this for themselves. I guess not, because it's all up to Charles and once again left alone with the ominous self. As these members from Fervid will try to just go in ng sama-sama. And yes, they would be able to do that. And look at that. This is quite the first time that they've get a round advantage in a map. This is wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What if?
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah, they're so close, Moji. That mid angle, that bridge angle from Lance has been a headache for Execration. Laging yun yung tumitira sa kanila dito eh. Whenever they get control of A site, laging nandun si Lance. And this time Lance will be in that A site. Bridge angle denied by a good smoke lineup, and Ting will be coming in from RS, finding a kill, making it a double. Eto na, Execration throwing everything they've got into this A site, and they can't even get in. Si Charleston na lang ang matitirang mabubuwag for Execration. Fervid forces set 3, and you could see the hype, you could see the energy, the boys celebrating. We are going to sub-base, and Fervid might have just secured a win by taking us into that map.
Aral na alal! Itong port map natin ng Fervid, and look at what these boys look right now. It's crazy for us to witness how they've been able to tip over itong Execration. I mean, what just happened there? That's supposed to be their map. But for some reason, they definitely outsmarted them. They put up the best defense they can do. Definitely really studied it so hard in order to get rid of options na pwedeng gawin ni Execration dito on the BL side, and we are heading into sub-base.
Fervid has a chance. They have a chance to play the villains of Execration. I mean, let's face the facts. Fervid, up to this week, hasn't won a single series. Pag natalo na lang Execration, they won't be able... Well, Fervid won't be able to qualify for playoffs anymore. But if they take Execration down, medyo mabubuwag ang playoffs dreams na Execration dito. And Sneak and I were hyping them up so much. They are a team worth more than their stats. And Fervid are saying, no, bawal. I mean, this is the villain arc for Fervid, and I'm all for it. Papasok tayo sa sub-base. Fervid's favorite map, and Execration is in trouble. They have to keep it together. And this is looking dicey. Kasi nakita natin yung player cams kanina, no, before the game ended. Fervid are looking happy and stoked. But I can't say the same for Execration, Mochi.
Nako, medyo delikado sila dito. I'm pretty sure mapapawaw yung panel natin dito ngayon. Bipolar and Sneaky Frog, anong masasabi niyo?
Napawaw na nga kami talaga, man. Wala kami masabi ni Sneaky Frog dito sa panel, and it's all just a good and happy day for Fervid because as you can see, Sneaky, nagsigawan ang ating mga players. Almost tumayo pa nga to the point doon sila Jet and even si Lance. But yeah, a great conversion going to almost tie, closing out the map without even letting Execration go into match point. We're going to sub-base, Sneaky. Anong thoughts natin dyan?
Sub-base is gonna be a very exciting map in all honesty. Ayun nga, both teams very, very experienced pagdating sa mapa na yun. Execration, obviously, it's not gonna be a wash para sa kanila dito. They have had some really good games on sub-base and kailangan lang nilang ulitin. Problema nga lang, you did lose to Fervid, which is not too good para sa confidence nyo pare kasi yun nga, you're a Execration, you're a playoff team na dapat makarating dito sa top 4. And you have so much talent on your team and you lost to Fervid GT, the team that is 0-4 currently sa standings natin. So that's just to paint the picture, no, dito ng series natin. And para naman sa Fervid, no, nice job. Oh my God, grabe. Ay nung first half pa lang sabi ko, okay, nakakuha sila ng round sa BL and then it just kept going. Tapos yung parang yung disbelief ko parang nag-grow slowly, no? And I was just mind-blown. Ang ganda ng laruan dito ni Lance. Lance was sniping out of his mind. Jat, absolutely fragging out of his mind as well. Nomad 1 finally, man, living up to the hype dito sa port, pare. I love what I'm seeing galing dito sa Fervid, man.
Yeah, you gotta give it to them, especially those plays that you've mentioned because they played out of their minds and definitely so na akala natin they were just not gonna be playing like the best in capabilities. Pero si Jat, even him, he was just saying na sa ating interview na he was just gonna be there as a role player. He's gonna be contributing to his team. But look at him now. He is screaming out of his mind pagdating nung 10 score, nung talagang naging katotohanan na yung panalo. You can definitely see in their faces now what just happened kahit sila naguluhan. But right now, let's look at the highlights muna from this matchup na talagang punong-puno ng barilan, punong-puno ng bakbakan at talagang it's the crossfire that you want to see if you're a fan of each of these teams because it's just good crossfire nonetheless. But nakita naman natin first 5 rounds, it was mostly a lot of like Execration rushes, a lot of Execration powerhouses. Pero Fervid, just like what you've said, once they got that rhythm, tuloy-tuloy na, palagi silang tie game, palagi nilang nadidikit yung laban, and ultimately, that gave them the win.
Yun nga, no? It is always in the back of your mind kung kayo yung winning team dito sa series. And obviously, 10-5 yung naging score natin dito sa map number 1. So obviously, confidence is at an all-time high para dito sa Execration, but overconfidence might have just killed yung kanilang fourth dreams dito, pare, unfortunately. But at the same time, you still have to compliment the holders on the other side, pare. Fervid, on their BL pa lang, grabe na yung pinaramdam sa atin dito. And Execration, I was actually surprised na they couldn't get it through nung patapos na yung game natin kasi ayun nga, CBN was hitting some nice shots. Yung nga, Folex wasn't finding as much opportunities as expected, but itong si AE Ben pare was also looking. Pero pagdating talaga ng GR side, I was very, very impressed dito sa depensa ng Fervid. I mean, the rotations were very fast. The reactions were exactly where it needed to be. Ayun nga, I mean, I'm glad that there's progress dito sa team na to. No? At least tangible na progress na nakikita nga natin. And just a footnote dito, Bipolar. This is the exact same team, itong Fervid GT, that did beat yung Team Secret in a best of 3 doon sa ating open qualifier. So, di naman sa hindi nila kaya mag-beat ng top team. Maybe the time is just right para sa kanila dito.
Yeah, baka it's their time. Baka sinasabi natin na Execration having a good journey up ahead. Baka Fervid pala ang magbibigay sa atin ng ganong kind of storyline. But as you can say, medyo nagulat tayo na Fervid can really, once nag-switch yung sides natin, talagang nakita natin na Fervid really outplayed them. So just look at the first half. It's a back and forth, pero pagdating mo dun sa second half, nakuha ng Fervid mostly all of those rounds. And just look at this, 1.80 on Nomad with yung KD niya, tapos that kill per round is 1 kill per round. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, in any other map, kung kunyari Black Widow yung usapan natin dito pare, nakita natin yung first half, back and forth, okay lang yan. Pero pagdating kasi sa mapa ng port, if you allow the other team to have 4, edi magiging 5 yung score mo. And you give them GR side, 1 point lang yung leeway mo dun pare, which is not the best position para sa Execration. Pero granted, may mga nagkaroon naman sila ng early rounds dito sa kanilang BL side. Problema nga lang, once Fervid started to figure out this defense a lot more, Lund starting to hit the shots, Nomad anchoring very well, Jat playing very well as well. I think it's really, really hard to enter kasi mainit na nga yung Fervid, plus the map is on their side as well.
Yeah, alam mo, I think one thing to point out as well is that sa sobrang dami ng back and forth natin, Execration gave time for Fervid, for Luns, for Nomad to pop off and to get into their flow state na hinahanap natin from them. And definitely so, nakita na natin yun. Look at Luns as well, 1.64 KD together with Nomad with a kill prod na isa. It's just crazy crossfire coming in from Fervid. Sure. Pero ngayon, makikita na natin na ating MVP. Sino nga ba nandito?
Yun, there it is, Nomad 1. Na yun nga, the monster that originally came from Herbie Gaming team now is in Fervid. You know, showing what he is capable of dito sa ating mapa. And I like this point. I really love this point. I know na wala tayo sa comment section na part ngayon, but I really love this point. Naalala ko talaga yung SS sa Fervid back in the day, sabi dito ni Claire Navarro. And I really like that point kasi ayun nga, SS granted na hindi gaganda yung kanilang run dun sa last season, still provided us with some very, very nice surprises from some odd maps. And it could be the exact same vibe, no? Para dito sa Fervid.
Yeah, very much so. I can see that as well. And you know what, looking back at the highlights right now sa ating mga matches dito sa mapa na ito, you can definitely say na team talaga nila yung beast, which is the Wildcats, the Wild Dogs coming in from Execration. And that just means aabot na tayo sa Cebu. Sneaky, pupunta tayo sa sub-base. And I think Data might be right here. It's a problematic scene for Execration. Again, it was a good map for them when it was Ubek Peña, if I'm correct, kung tama pa naman ako. They did perform very well doon, pero right now it's Fervid. It's a hard spot na natalo ka on that set 2, so hindi ko lang paano nila i-convert yung energy na yun going into sub-base.
Yeah, for sure. It hurts a lot more, no? Especially it did come from Fervid, but I mean, I feel like sub-base is truly a 50-50 kung sino na lang talaga magsisimula ng mas maganda dito. I really feel like sub-base, the first 4 rounds are more important than people think. Kung nakuha nyo nga yun, then yun nga, you could probably have control for the rest of the game and probably set the pace for the rest of the game here, pare.
Yeah, very much so. You know what? Good thoughts all around, pero wala na tayo masasabi. Pupunta tayo sa sub-base in just a little while. Hindi pa tayo tapos dito sa CFPH Masters. We'll be going to a short break. We'll be right back. The matches still continue and we are still here for CFPH Masters 2025 Execration versus Fervid Esports. Sneaky Frog, kamusta tayo dyan?
It's been a pretty exciting best of three, pare. Fervid finally taking one against one of our better teams dito sa ating standings. I mean, granted, standings didn't look good para sa Exe, but at the same time, they're a good team, pare. But man, I couldn't be more prouder for the boys here, man, despite predicting 2-0. Ayun nga, pretty happy for Fervid that they got some distance sa series natin.
Yeah, very much so. Nakikita na natin finally the bloom or the outburst of the power of every player coming in from Fervid. So, it's nice to see na kaya talaga nilang makipagtapatan, and we're seeing finally yung lakas na pinakita nila against Team Secret nga na pinag-uusapan natin when they dominated that scene. Ngayon, it's Execration on the spot. They're on the edge of the cliff. It's gonna be a hard time for Execration, lalo na it's sub-base. Fervid has a lot of arsenal pagdating dito.
Yeah, pero I wouldn't count out itong Execration on sub-base at all. Obviously, they've had some very good showings sa mapa na yun, especially up against itong Ubek. And I really feel like this is not gonna be easy para sa Fervid, but it is winnable no para sa kanila, considering yung familiarity ng mapa of sub-base for the team. So, we need to see that exact same performance galing dito kay Nomad. Kailangan natin makita ng exact same performance as well galing dito kay Luns, kasi ngayon nga, pag pinawala mo dito si Charleston, who actually had a very good game sa sub-base, then may hirapan sila, especially knowing yung mga snipers, they're holding a very important position in the map, which is that second mid, which could separate itong rotators natin in between yung mga sites.
Totoo man. And lumabas na talaga yung coin flip na sinasabi natin na pagdating ng sub-base, it's anyone's game. And as their decider, Execration, Fervid right now need to play in their A game. Both of the teams, not just Fervid, but for Execration, we need to see that CBN from set number 1. We need to see that Folex as well as for even to get 2 shots in. Pero wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa. Mamaya na kami dito mga panel with Sneaky Frog. Together with Mochi and Daydom, sila naman ang may kita nyo for the Hypecast. Mamaya. Ay, here na pala. Ngayon na pala yan.
Ngayon na talaga. Maraming salamat, Bipolar. And we're here for the final set of the day. We're going to sub-base, Mochi. And I just wanna say, sabi ni Sneaky, this is a 50-50. I disagree. I think this is a 60-40 in favor of Fervid. Let's see. I'm so excited what they're going to bring dito sa sub-base.
Alam mo kung anong natatawa ako dito? Kasi kanina, di ba, nagpa-plan tayo ng ating predictions. Kung kailan yung one time nasabi ni Bipolar, kapareho niya na tayo. Parang ngayon pa ata siya magsisisi. Because look at what is happening right now. We are on the brink of seeing Fervid possibly defeat etong si Execration, and sub-base pa ang susunod na mapa natin. Ano ba tong mga to? Mga Cebuano, diba? Ano ang susunod na mapa? Sub-base, diba? Ano pa ba ang posibleng pwedeng mangyari dito? I wonder how Execration will be able to handle the heat, at kung nagkaroon ba sila ng magandang mental reset kanina with such super short time.
I mean, yun yung tanong no? Will Execration be able to bounce back? Kasi that's a big mental hit. As Nikki was saying earlier, it doesn't feel good, especially in your favorite map of Port. Doon ka pa natalo. It's gonna be a big task to whoever the mental coach is within the team. Alam ko, Execration, they don't necessarily have as a big support system when it comes to the coaching staff. No? I'm not even sure if the team has an acting coach sa ngayon. I think it's just one of the players who is acting as the coach. No? So whoever that player is has a big task at hand na i-reset yung mentality ng mga players dito. Okay, we're going into map 3. We're still in the game. Hindi pa tayo talo. But you have to remember, this is a Fervid we're talking about. I think lahat tayo nakalimutan na this is still the team that beat Team Secret in the open qualifiers. This is still a very formidable team with Nice Katol as the coach, and this is a team that is very much a talented roster. Nomad, pinakita yung sarili niya in that first 2 games, and Luns coming online is a good thing for Fervid, not the best for Execration. So medyo mahirap talaga makabawi dito yung Execration, especially in the favored map of Fervid. No? So having said all that, I think Fervid has got a good chance of taking them down.
Yeah. Yeah, right after what we have seen, there is a possibility indeed. Actually, ang nakakatawa dito, kanina medyo naantok na ako kasi nakakala ko 2-0 na naman. Pero tignan mo! Eto na! Nagising na diwa ko, man! 1-1! We're heading on to map 3. And I'm pretty excited on to this one. What's gonna be the next play na ipupull off ng Fervid dito? Like, is it gonna be more strength pagka nasa defense sila? Would it be the same drill as what we have seen kanina sa port? Or would it be a bit more of a really aggressive one, no? Because we can finally observe because when they have these slow plays, kaya nilang what do you call this, mag-scale, kaya nilang mag-excel, kaya nilang mag-provide ng support sa mga tao na kailangan nilang pag-provide ng support and whichever spot of the map that actually requires it. So, if they can move like this and put everything under control nang hindi sila dinidiktahan or what do you call this, parang pinapressure ng Execration to play fast, I feel like there is a good chance for Fervid to actually get this one for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on that GR side, no? Let me take a look actually kung sino yung magsisimula sa GR side dito. I believe it's Fervid starting on the GR side.
Nako.
And I think that's a nightmare scenario for
Yeah.
Execration, no? Nung GR side ng port dito ng Fervid, hindi makapasok ng site yung Execration. And by the time they get into the site, Lance has already found himself in a good position to deny them of planting the C4. That could very well be the case dito sa sub-base, no? Especially because of how big this map is. Yung problema kanina ng Execration is nauubusan sila ng utility bago sila makapagtanim ng C4. Kasi lahat yun ginagamit nila just to create space. That could very well be true in sub-base as well, kung saan it's a lot of open spaces that you have to use utility. And this is also a map where that sniper can shine. Another map where Lance could show us what he's made of. So this is not looking good for Execration at all. They're gonna have to be creative. They're gonna have to show us something else dito sa sub-base, which is a map that is not particularly their best. No, I mean, when you talk about Execration, you think port, compound, Ankara, more of the standard stuff, no? Even Black Widow for that. Sub-base is not necessarily their best map, and they're gonna have to work double time to work against a team who does love playing this map.
Di lang, I feel like they should work on this quick. Kasi tulad nga lang sabi ko, if you give them the time to adjust, it seems like it's gonna be a bad thing for you. So, if Execration can try and utilize, maybe not just brute force, pero try to make executes more quicker than the usual, and being still prominent with the pick-off potential na meron sa kanila, what Charleston, what Folex, and what the squad may actually provide, I feel like they have a good chance on this one. Yan ay kung magagawa nila yon on BL.
Alright, here we go. Final set of the day. Can Fervid take their first set win against Execration? Tingnan natin, they are pushing up. Execration already inside of the site, of a site that is. Nakakuha na ng kill dito si Folex. Hatch going down early, and Nomad all the way on the other side. Will not be able to help much in this A-site execute. C4 nilalapit na nga dito ng Execration.
Bilis.
And Fervid just waiting for CBN will be able to shut down the lurk. A good start for the retake of Fervid.
Yan ang katanungan paano ba i-address ng Execration nito sobrang low na na makumpare natin dito. Ting marching down, spotting him, but Folex will be taking him out from that area. Nomad will be able to get an idea kung nasaan si Folex dito at mukhang magkakandalagasan na ang parehong koponan on this one as Nomad and Lance will be working together para maubos sa mga member natin dito ng Execration at iba ang kanilang dating ngayon. Fervid is looking so good than ever here in Subbase right now.
And this is this is getting worse for Execration. Sticky
yeah.
said the first 4 rounds is of huge importance. Because in sub-base, momentum is a big game. Speed is a big game. And when you get ahead of that, no one knows it better than Cebuano teams. Fervid being one of those teams na pag nakuha mo yung early lead, it's a big chance to win this set. And they secured the first round just like that. A good retake for Fervid. So, Execration, Again, have to work that mental game. Have to get past it. Ito sa ating set number 3. Medyo mas mabagal yung approach na dito, Mochi. Taking more of the time. A bit more attention towards, I believe that's Woods. Yun na nga, no? ZYK around here as well. With Fall X. Flash coming through. Baiting a little bit of attention habang naghahanap ng potential kill si CBN.
Ito yung mga times na i-hope mo na sana mag-pop off ulitong si CBN eh, no? Because these are the times na if Fervid would for some retakes, I feel like may hirapan sila because once again, this is their map after all. They're just gonna be taking their time of day setting themselves up though.
Wow.
The Flash will be connecting on themselves. Kahit ko sila ang nagbato, Jot taking out itong si Polex, but Execration be able to try and fend them off. Charleston naman muli ang may iwan dito. Nalagansa for them, but Fervid is taking their time of day into just occupying every single nook and cranny na maaaring panggalingan nitong naiiwan nating miyembro. Pero, itong si Nomad, tamang ba to? Mapa-flash? Ako pwede pa nga silang sumilip doon pero they're taking it safe, they're putting respect, which is wonderful. The discipline is definitely evident for Fervid so far. And mukhang wala na nga rin siyang oras para makapag-up sa kanyang execute and it's all gonna be falling down to the hands of Tank.
You could see Execration. The cracks are showing. A bit of a lopsided execute with that flash from A even. Na-flash na si Folex eh. So, going into a deep push and when your flash is not gonna work out at all, but CBN this time will have a good setup courtesy of A-Even. Good flash onto Nomad and A-Even will get a 3K to capitalize. Okay, good start. Execration creating a bit of space in LB and that leaves a bit of a hard defense for Fervid. Dalawa na lang natitira sa kanila dito. And Execration just considering their choices. Pwede pa silang lumipat ng A eh.
Nakupo. At Folex and Stars are gonna be fighting themselves their way here onto A side. Mukhang magkakitaan pa nga itong si Even at si Ting. But Ting will be taking him out. Saktong-sakto pagkakita with the crossfire positioning na meron sila dito ni Lance, no? And balak pa atan sumunod ni Charleston dito pero mukhang siya naman makakasecure. Might possibly get one more. Tinakbuhan na lang siya ni Charleston dito. That Lance will be able to connect the shot. Oh my! 3-0 na! Tear Dome! Ano to?
Fervid are making it happen.
Naku! Ano mangyayari kay Execration on this one? But seems like Nomad will be taken out here by ZYK immediately this early. Which is a good sign for them, no? Finally hoping to break that momentum na kinukuha at ina-accumulate ng Fervid so far. Uy, nakita.
Wow!
Ulu.
Charleston, nasty angle. Okay, good start. The best start for Execration so far. Taking 2 kills early. Oh, but Haj answers back. Good re-peek. Iba talaga ang timing dito ni Haj. Speaking of timing, ZYK will catch one onto him. So this is a hard position to recover from for Fervid. Who will get picked off by Charleston. Si Chat na lang natitira dito. The sub in for the day. Can he do something here? The answer is no. There you go, ZYK. Getting the kill, getting the round for Execration. They denied the 4-0 start from Fervid.
Ayan na. Seems like there is going to be the end of the round win streak na naka-accumulate dito ng Fervid kanina. No? Seems like it's a matter of close quarter combats na nakuha nila from the second mid area and so forth. But currently, there is a great deal in terms of pickoffs din dito kay Execration. No? If they can get that for themselves, I feel like they're off into promising BL side journey here in Subbase. But can't deny na masyadong limited yung possibilities na pwede nilang makuha yon. Especially they're the ones who must be pushing right now. ZYK critically tip low in terms of HP. Kasama ni Haj. There's gonna be quick tradings off on this one. Ting na lang. He'll be caught in the act throwing a utility. And Folex will be taking him out at mukhang it's all up to Lance Nomad and Jat here as they try to offer a retake. Kung may ispatan nila itong apat na nagkatenga at nag-aabang sa kanila, well, it's gonna be about a different story. Inapaulanan na ng mga utility. Ang tanong ay kung tumatama ba, trying to narrow down, divide the spaces if possible. Some shots being thrown here. Nomad and as well as some members here. Kuha na lang mga trade-offs onto this one. Lapit na sa isa't isa. Wala silang choice but to face them head on. Some pop-ups here. Lance still left alone here. We're taking that one. Pero yun nga. Wala na sila ng oras doon.
Yun nga. Still a good attempt from Fervid. Execration denying space. Standard angles. Execration playing with discipline, taking the round 2 to 3, still in favor of Fervid though. And ZYK with an early push. Hey, Jat taken down. And slowly, the Execration looking on form with those. With that round and with the opening of this round. Slow peak punished by Lance. No lurk for ZYK anymore.
Kumukota na raw siya.
Pabagal ang approach dito ng Execration. And so far for Vid, have to stay disciplined, but Folex! Charleston! Inubos yung tatlo. It's Lance all alone now. An Execration getting some fight back. Lance on the AK. Has to try and clutch this 1v3. Pero alam na nila saan manggagaling si Lance dito. Know exactly where he is. Oh my God, Lance! Forces the recall here from Folex. Forces the retreat. 18 seconds left to play with. Lance, di chinek yung connector. And that is going to be the death of him. Folex with the punish. 3-3 Execration equalize.
Ayan. They're back, I guess. And kita din naman that they've been able to make the most out of the quick executes and pickups na meron dito kay Execration so far. Lalong-lalo na para kay ZYK na pinatahimik dun sa last round natin, and seems like nakapag-step up naman itong si Fall X. And right now, definitely gonna be waiting for any actions possible here, no? Bantay sarado itong sikip natin for Lance, while they will be trying to possibly march on to siguro sa B-site natin kung meron silang mamamataan at madadaanan doon, no? It's too early to say because maaga pa man din dito. This Jat and nandito lang sa taas natin, nakaabang.
Yeah, Execration gearing up for a push in A. Ito na, magaling sila sa luwag dito. Folex pushing up. Lance getting flashed away. That's the sniper player. Si Lance, yun na nga na-push ni Folex with the jumping peak. Pero Charleston finds his own Execration. Good opening kills. And Fervid forced away from CR, and the C4 gets planted as well. Fervid crumbling under this Execration push. Nomad going down, and it is a very clean round from Execration. 4-3. 3 rounds in a row, Mochi. Execration still having a point to prove.
Actually, 4 na, di ba? Di ba 4 rounds in a row na? Kasi kanina 3-0 si Fervid.
No?
So,
4 pala, 4.
yeah. And currently, It seems like Folix is definitely standing up for his team, no? Parang kanina, they're just trying to coordinate with each other, but no, there's already prevalence and dominance from his end. Ayun pa nga, pinatulog pa tong si Haj, no? Ting as well already been taken out from the missiles area. ZYK just gonna be securing the objective alongside the rest of the squad. Now all up to Lance and Nomad. Si Nomad na lang. At makakatulog din ni Charleston, just as I was saying that one. And parang medyo yung ignition ng Fervid na meron dito kanina naubos ng Execration for the past rounds. And now the streak is still on there and super strong. And right now, it is all up for Execration if they can still carry over yung streak na meron sa kanila dito ngayon, kasi not gonna lie, seems like they are definitely knowledgeable enough kung ano yung mga pwedeng i-play ng Fervid dito.
Yeah, they feel unstoppable at this point, Execration. Everyone else popping off here. ZYK, Fall X, Charleston as well. Fervid forced to adjust. Medyo mas malapit yung playstyle nila dito. ZYK takes down Haj. The lurk again. Deadly from Execration. Si Ting manggagaling sa likod, but there's 3 people inside the CR Nomad. Good for 2. Pero si A-Even na lang natitira dito. Fervid converging onto A-Even, and that is it. Fervid take him down, and it is a 4-5 scoreline in favor of Execration.
Grabe yun. Pakalapit ng ating mga puntos ngayon, no? And currently, they're yet to see what is going to be the change of pace and as well as behavior dito kay Fervid, lalong-lalo na they possibly would like to take their time, but their pickups are gonna be on point as ever as Lance takes out itong si Charleston early on.
Another good start. For Fervid's half. BL side. Nakakataka to eh. When you put Fervid on sub-base BL and got Lance as well on the sniper duty.
Dito na tayo sa wood area. You would definitely expect that someone's gonna be falling down in here. Pero wala pa man din as of the current time. Matibay-tibay ang ating defense for Execration here in this extremity, and definitely they would be showing that off. Nomad attempting to offer the trade here onto Follex though, pero Follex knew better, taking himself in a safer position. As ZYK will be able to seal the deal here for Jet. Napakaluto with the cult. A crispy shot for him indeed. Nomad and Lance na lang ang iiwan for Fervid, and they are yet to set their foot into a specific site. Bantay sarado pa man din ng Execration dito ngayon. It's gonna be quite of a tough battle for them to do, most especially CBN ang makakaharap nila. The one tap onto Lance. I am not quite sure how Nomad would be addressing this one, but he's gonna be spotting CBN out in this area. Definitely being hindered by some utility usage here. Swapping out the AK with an not connecting though, backing up with an AK once again. Well aware of CBN where he is, taking that shot, connecting it, but he's not gonna be surviving for long. Ito na nga, Olex will be able to take him, and now the advantage in terms of rounds are for Exec once again.
Yep, 6-4. And Execration's defense looking good from the early kills. This time around, no, yung napapunish sa kanila sa ating map number 1, yun yung nagiging solusyon nila dito. Execration, the aggressiveness of the individuals, giving them an early advantage in every round so far, has given them a lot of room, a lot of advantage. 6-4. And the GR side have been explosive for Execration for the most part. Fervid taking each and every round as slow as they can. And Charleston is not having any of it. Good denial mula kay Charleston dito. Inside of missiles. And again, Fervid. One player down.
Nako. They're yet to find a sufficient trade-off after that one. After that loss, na si Lance pa ang nakuha sa kanila. As they try to put themselves in a better position in order to get their objective done. Medyo mahihirapan sila dahil si Fall X lang naman nakaharang sa kanila dito. Hatch will be taken out at that specific moment. No answers as of yet. Tons of utilities being thrown here, raining upon them. Nomad also falling down as well as Sting. Oh, this is gonna be a bad one for them. Pero si Jate makakasagot pa naman. Super low in terms of HP. Tatlo na lang. Isang pitik na lang. Burado na siya. And the grenade will be connecting onto him. 3 more rounds away for victory. Itong si Execution rather. 4 more. But once again, medyo may kahirapan pa man din for on their end. They're trying to move ahead if possible. Naku, nabura pa si Nomad this early.
Yun lang. One of the star players of Fervid taken out early. This is a great start for Execration. And this map, a map that thrives on duels, making it a little bit more GR sided than BL. That's why it's so deadly when you lose one player. Mahirap na makapush sa sub-base. Because every angle will be accounted for by the defense. Ganda pa nga ng angle doon ni CB yan, no? From up top.
Mga tipo ng oras na mapapa-overthink ka na kung tama ba yung mga pushes na ginagawa nyo or yung pinupuntahan nyo because the coast is so quiet. ZYK will be taking tremendous amount of damage from that one though. From Lance. But 55 seconds on the clock. They should be cooking up something real good here for Fervid, knowing that they are of disadvantage in this one. Trying to move in. Possibly for B, pero ZYK will be finding out itong si Jata. This is not a good scenario for them at all, but Teng will try to even out the numbers, pero seems like it's gonna be a bit possible for them. Haj stepping up at this current time. Kaya lang medyo naubusan na sila ng oras dito. CBN will be eliminated by Haj. Quick on his feet. It's all up to him. 15 seconds on the clock. He is yet to put the C4 down. Maiispatan, mahaharangan. Polex sa kanyang katapat dito. At pinaglalaroan na nga lamang siya dito. The moment he puts the C4 down, it's a matter of segregation, but they're not letting them. Both of the people just gonna be closing up on him. Polex and even be able to save the day here for Execration.
In firm control of this set, Execration 8-4. And that's another 4 rounds or 3 rounds in succession para sa Execration dito. 2 away from taking this series and keeping their playoffs dream alive, and A even starts off good. Nomad going down, Ting taken away, good flash from A even, and Hodges will be out as well. Lance nag-iisa na lang dito, the Colt in hand is not gonna find anything. Execration 1 round away from taking down Fervid.
Naku. And it's all left for them to take. Seems like they're trying to pick up the pace here in terms of their pushes, pero parang mahihirapan na si Fervid na makahabol on this one, no? Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, hindi na sila pwedeng magkamali because if they do, it might mean the end for them. As Haj and Lance will try to occupy itong woods area natin muli. And the rest of the squad will be putting themselves here at MR. All the while trying to creep up in certain people and hopefully get some pickups. Pero play safe na play safe itong si Execration ngayon. Ampante. And when they get the opportunity to take someone, they would do so. At maaaring may makuha pa siyang isa dito. CBN would be damaged from that grenade. Pero it's just gonna be switching up into a different position.
And again, Fervid start off without Nomad, without one of their players. Crucially, their star player of the previous match. And it's a hard bargain keeping yourselves alive dito sa sub base. Execration playing standard. A shot not taking out anyone yet, but it takes down ZYK to 1 HP. Oh my god, ZYK still finds a kill amid the smoke. And Fervid running out of time, running out of space. Saan sila pupunta dito, Mochi? Lance na-discover pa nga, and ZYK takes him down. There's nowhere for Fervid to go. Kailangan nilang pumasok ng site. Yun na nga, pumasok dito. Down in second mid si Paul X. Jat will be making his way towards si Kip. At walang tao sa A-side for now, but Fervid down to the last two people, down to the last 16 seconds of this round. Si ZYK manggagaling mula sa CR, and it is just closing in on them. May tatanim yung C4 dito ng Fervid, but everyone up close and personal. Execration will be taking down Fervid. The playoffs dream is alive, and Execration win the third set against Fervid.
The playoffs dream is alive indeed. Give your salutations here for Execration as they attempt and gun down the hopes and dreams of Fervid with the third map win here in Subbase. Akala natin kay Fervid na to, but I guess not. We're not gonna be hearing any underdog stories as of the current time as Execration finally gets another win from the last 3 weeks na natatalo sila dito. Napatikim uli sila ng panalo. And we can definitely say that NT, no, kay Fervid. Kasi biro mo, they got a map. That's what matters. And it's one of the maps na alam pa natin na doon dapat nag-excel si Execration. And nahirapan silang i-penetrate yun once that they're on the BS side. But once again, seems like hindi sapat na isang mapa lang ang alam mo. You still have to be jack of all trades, if I may say. And currently, Execration hold through that they would still be able to get the victory in this series.
Yeah, it's just when they needed to. No, I mean, that's gonna hurt them a little bit in the standings that they lost one map, but the important matter is they won the series. Execration, they still have a shot at that playoff spot going up against, I think Team Secret yung kalaban nila in the number 4 spot, no? But Execration, they definitely have a shot still as long as they keep the next series as, well, not as close as they can, but as explosive as they can. Dapat malaki yung lamang nila. Dapat 2-0s yung mga next series nila dito, no? And for Vid, it was a nice attempt. It was a very good attempt from them. But it's still a winless series, a winless group stage for them, no? So mababa na talaga yung chance nila makapasok sa playoffs. Halos wala na, but they can still qualify for the regionals if they win their next couple of matches, no? So tingnan natin if Fervid can still qualify for the top 6 spot or hindi na. Execration, congratulations to them. They will be winning the series. And from here on out, dapat ganon ang mentality ng Execration, no? Just keep a strong head. Nung unang part nung sub-base, nakita natin, medyo medyo shaky yung ground nila. But round 4, they were able to find some ground and tuloy-tuloy na. And I think that should be the lesson here for Execration is to keep a strong head, and they should be able to do so. I mean, this is a team that is still a very coveted team. They have a lot of talent in their roster, and I think they shouldn't get in their heads, and they should be able to qualify. They have enough talent to qualify for the playoffs much.
Yes, indeed. And hopefully we can see more of them, no? Lalo-lalo that we saw something that crazy earlier on. Pero it seems like we have been able to give our commentary from the last two series. Once again, Mochi at Daydom nga pala at your service. Panel, kayo naman.
Maraming salamat, Mochi and Daydom. Sneaky, we finally have the result of that matchup that went up to game number 3. Execration is playoffs inbound. Tama nga ba?
Yes. They are inbound. Papunta nga dito sa playoffs natin. They are still in the running. As long as they keep it on to 3 losses, okay pa naman sila dito. So I think yung record nila ngayon is 2-3. And they also have to beat itong Team Secret dito sa ating week number 6 matchup, which is very fitting, no? Kasi yun nga, that those are gonna be the teams possibly exchanging yung 4th and itong 5th place natin dito sa ating standings. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot para sa Execration to come back into the standings. Probably gonna be one of the best playoff runs or potentially runs papunta nga dito sa ating playoffs from the group stage if ever nga ma-pull off to na Execration, pare.
Yeah, very much so. If ever they do that, it's gonna be a storyline for the ages. Pero of course, Fervid is still something to look out, something na pwede natin pag-usapan dito. Going up to match number 3 is something na akala natin hindi natin may kita for today. Sila lang nag-break ng weekly trend natin na 2-0 or 2-1. So they did put up a fight, and looking at this, at the first part of the series, our first part of the set number 3, nakita natin, it was almost a map for Fervid because they took up the first 3 points away from Execration, pero the conversion was there coming from Execration. Nag-pop off, nakita natin through the player camps, nagalit na si Folex, and he wanted that win badly.
For sure, Paul does not want to lose a playoff spot after another year of disappointment. No, yun din nangyari dun sa regional finals where he was inches away from playoffs, but then matches tore it away from his hands. And fittingly enough, pare, Team Secret has 2 members from that exact matches squad, pare, that could stop this Execration run going into playoffs. Grabe man, ang nakaka-excite yung mga stories natin dito sa group stage actually.
Yeah, very much so. Alam mo, looking back at it, kung yung Fervid man yung mananalo, it was also a storyline to be told. Pero ngayon, ang Execration means that they're really taking into form. They became stronger in amidst all the pressure and amidst the battlefield. So medyo, it's really something to look to really tell the viewers na pag nakita natin Execration again once the next week happens, it's a different kind of Execration na mapapansin natin.
Yeah, and alam mo yung pinakamadalas na tanong sa akin, Bipolar, sa stream ko, is paano nga gumaling sa laro na Crossfire? Ito yung ginawa ko. Magpabugbog sa mas magaling sa akin, way better than me, man. And eventually, you kinda get the gist of it na parang naaaral mo yung kanilang galawan, pre-aim, pre-fires, and all that, pare. And I feel like Fervid is experiencing that exactly, pero sa highest level of competition, pare.
Yeah.
Which, granted, mababa nga kayo sa standings, pero yung importante is what is gonna come from Fervid going into yung next season, going into yung regionals potentially, maybe even dun sa Impact if mapunta nga sila dun. A lot could be in store para dito sa Fervid from what I'm already seeing, and I really hope na they keep it locked in, man. Kasi pagdating nga dun sa play-ins, yun nga, no one is safe in that position. But I feel like Fervid can get through that no problem. As we take a look at yung set summary natin, of course, Fall X with another mind-boggling performance. Galing sa kanya, pare, 3 KD, 1.50 kills per round, 0.71 headshots per kill, 29 freaking AP, pare. That is probably the highest AP I've seen, except yung nandun si KSA that one time where he scored that very insane game. Pero 29 AP is insane, pare.
Yeah, that whole stat line coming in from Folex means that he was online when that server went online para sa kanya dito sa ating sa base map. You know what, ZYK also putting up a storm. It's 2.14 KD with almost above a 1.0 KR. Tapos may kita mo rin naman, both of these players, a lot of these players right now coming in from Execration really played well. One thing to point out, CBN was a little bit siguro down in the slumps. You can see 0.57, but still, he did try still against
Sure.
Fervid. 0.75 headshot per kill, even though the stat line for him is not really that great. May kita mo na he is still a little bit online. Tamang-tama pa din yung headshot. Yung nakita nating 0.95 na bawasan lang yun ng 0.20.
For sure, for sure. Pero pagdating naman kasi sa pag-entry dito ng sub-base, no, it is an absolute nightmare of a map
Yes.
as an entry fragger kasi you have to run into all the nades, you have to run into all the flashes para sa support mo to not take any of those nades. Pero yun nga, speaking of support, set MVP
Yes, sir.
is gonna be Folex. 3K day 1.71 headshots per kill. Smokes per round is 0.50. He's still throwing his utility pare despite his insane stat line. Pero ayun nga, I feel like we're gonna have another conversation with Folex very, very soon, my man.
Yeah, hopefully, possibly, pwede rin talaga natin mapakita si Folex later on if he is the match MVP. Pero for him to put out these numbers is really just intense na everybody was holding the edges of their seat. Nandun na sila na ganun naka-intense yung labanan, and for him to just put, again, perform like this, it's just too intense. It's a show in itself na talagang pag nakita mo si Folex, you expect the greatness, and he does show that.
Yeah, yung si Folex kasi, I think yung height ni Folex, siya yung tipong player na kaya niya mag-will ng panalo na mag-isa lang siya eh. And in a 5v5 game, that is pretty hard to do. But then, yun nga, Folex with the background from other FPS games, I feel like na hindi na siya naapektuhan ng pressure no matter it's a nade or flash or anything. And ayun nga, he's just absolute anomaly of a talent dito sa CFPH pare. But we take a look at the match results, of course. 10-5 para dito sa Ankara. 10-8 for Fervid on port, and sub base didn't go in the way of Fervid, unfortunately. Kagaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, it is not as free as you guys think itong sub base map up against itong Execration. I mean, that good showing galing sa Ubek, and despite only getting 7 points, that's still something, man.
Yeah, kahit 10-4 lang yan, you gotta look back sa ating VODs or sa ating live na Fervid really put up a fight against Execration. But that is our match result for these two teams. Intense set of matches, an intense series that came up to set number 3 kung saan talagang napakita ng dalawang teams natin ang kanilang mga buong lakas. Pero let's look at the entire match. MVP for Execration. Sino nga ba ito? Wala nang iba kundi ang nag-iisang Folex with a 1.47 KD, a 1.0 KR, a headshot percentage na talagang parang kahit ako hindi ko kaya gawin yan, pero yung AP niya 48. Good on you, Folex.
Yeah, absolute insane AP, man. I mean, for a person that is wielding the rifle no most of the time, having that much is just insane. I mean, 70, and the amount, yung volume pa ng kills dito ni Folex is absolutely insane. The output, I mean, 15, I think it was 17 plus yata nung first map. It was him and CDN kind of getting the brunt of the load, no, para sa kanilang team, which we did expect. But when it came to that second map, man, grabe, half of the stuff na Folex was doing was straight up illegal. Naalala ko yung shot, patakbo na yata si Jet papunta ng MR. Or, papunta ng MR, and natamaan niya pa rin yun at the back of the head as soon as he went into dito sa sikip, and I was like, yeah, this is over. Yun nga, if Folex is hitting shots like that, pare, napakahirap.
Yeah, napakahirap talaga ng labanan kapag nandyan na talaga si Folex. What the heck? Nakita natin. Buti na lang nakita sa buong sa buong highlights natin. It came up to fruition pa din. Pero yeah, Folex being our match MVP really sets in stone na Execration once they have something in the bag talaga. It's not just CBN, it's also Folex on that scoreboard na talaga mag-outperform every time everyone in the entire server. Pero everybody, as we finish off the highlights for Folex, kakaibang labanan talaga yung nakita natin doon. And speaking of magandang labanan, may maganda tayong interview. Finally, it's gonna be ZYK coming in from Execration. Kamusta naman tayo dyan, ZYK?
Ba't ako nandito? Hindi naman ako MVP.
Ba't ka nandito? Hindi ko rin alam eh. Nag-iisip na ako ng tanong para kay Paul eh.
Ako na. Awit talaga.
Awit. Ano pre, kamusta? Kamusta naman yung panalo? Alam kong Fervid yan, men. Medyo nahirapan kayo sa port. Pero ano men, kamusta?
Sinubukan lang rin namin yung port kasi hindi pa namin nalalaro eh. Di ba? Parang nag-trinay lang rin namin. Since wala na. Dating tulis naman eh. Wala naman akong pake kung matalo kami dun. Bahala na.
Ay.
Joke lang. Siyempre, gusto namin manalo.
Well, at least talagang napanalo nyo yung buong set, tatlong series. CYK, hindi na natin papalawakin pa. You guys got the win for the XFAM out there. Anong mga plano natin up against sa mga susunod nating matches? May mga set in stone na ba tayo? A little bit of adjustment?
Di ko alam. Siguro yung kalaban na lang namin next mag-adjust sa amin. Mahirap adjust ng adjust eh.
Yan!
Wow! Wow! Grabe naman yun. Alam mo yun pa talaga yung sinabihan niya na next na kalaban, pare. Kasi alam mo naman kung sino yung next na kalaban dito ng XA.
Hindi, kasi yung mga, syempre yung mga kalaban namin, di ba? Dalawa pa yun. mahalaga rin sa kanilang, kumbaga manalo eh. Kasi,
Yeah,
di ba yung
totoo
top,
naman.
parang kaming dalawa na lang yung naghahabol sa top 4. So,
Ayun, may point ka naman, N9. Pero yun nga, may sasabihin ka ba sa Execration na crowd, pare, na mga sumusuporta?
wala. Wala akong sasabihin.
Okay. Okay na. Okay.
Okay na yun. Ano na lang
Nakita na lang tayo, no, next week.
Kita na lang.
Okay.
Ganun na lang.
ZYK, maraming salamat. Congratulations sa buong Execration. Pati sa iyo. Thank you so much para sa...
Shoutout ko lang yung bagong jowa ni CBN, si Candy.
Ayun, ang tamis.
The real six man.
Grabe ka, wingman. ZYK, thank you very much. Congratulations sa inyong win. We'll see you next week. Doon na lang tayo mag-interview talaga. Maraming salamat, ZYK. Ay, nako. Ito na nga, Execration, your match winner and putting up in the spot para sila yung makapasok sa ating playoffs. But once again, even CBN Charleston, Folex, ZYK putting down in the stone na ang Fervid daw hindi sila mapapatibag. Sneaky Frog, anong thoughts natin dyan? nawala ako after the interview.
Ayun nga, I was kinda lost, not gonna lie. I feel like yun yung first time natalo tayo sa interview.
Yeah.
Tayo yung natalo dun, for sure. And ayun nga, I think overall thought siguro for the day, yun nga, Execration is still in. Obviously, it's gonna be a very, very good series going into next week, men.
Yeah.
Are going into week number 6, especially June 29 pa, Sunday, prime time, yung slot para dun sa magandang labanan. So, very looking forward to that, no? Especially knowing yung implications behind the XA and the TS matchup, pare. The stories write themselves, man.
Ang ganda yung script natin doon eh. Talagang pinagbigyan tayo ni Smalget and ni Crossfire. Pero everybody, looking back at the day for today, looking back at that day, nagsimula tayo sa 2-0, nag-end tayo ng 2-1, and it was definitely a show na started off slow but ended off with a bang na kung saan paangat lang ng paangat ang ating mga players. Ngayon na natin nararamdaman na all of the teams are very much serious going into the standings. They want to get that top spot para makapasok sa ating standings. And look, it's time for us to finally get the updated standings, Sneaky. At ngayon, look at the first spot.
Ooh, ayun nga, first spot. Obviously naman, mapupuntahan dito sa Evos considering na they don't have a loss. And 2 more wins para sa kanila dito, which would be team acceptance, which is definitely doable para sa Evos, pare. And of course, that certified banger sa week number 7, that UM versus Evos matchup, to know kung sino talaga ang first. Pero ayun nga, even if you give a loss dito sa Evos, I think tiebreaker pa rin yun if ever maglalaban sila ng Ubek. But then what is important here, Bipolar, is that 4th position, Team Secret, holding it out against itong Execration. Ayun nga, pag natalo dito yung Team Secret, that's a 3-3. And 3-3 na pareho dito Exe, it's gonna be about the round whether or not na kung sino aangat dito actually.
Yun na nga yung 1-2-3 spot natin parang hindi na matitibag yan, pero after that yung 4th spot talaga yung kailangan nating tutukan kasi just like what you've said, if it does happen like that, talagang titignan lang natin yung rounds. Pero let's look at the next matchups for the next week. Oras na para makita ang ating labanan kasi UM versus GG ang number 1 at PE versus Fervid naman ang may kita natin ng match number 2.
Yeah, another tough series para dito sa Fervid GT, but yun nga, no, it's a learning experience. We have just accepted it that this entire tournament is a learning experience para sa kanila dito, and I really hope na they get some distance in that series para naman sa Gaon. It's the homies, battle of the homies dito, pare. Obviously, UM Gaon, definitely interact with each other very often, probably scrim partners as well. So, para naman dito sa Gaon, if you have something left to prove dito sa group stage, might as well do it up against one of the best dito sa Pilipinas, pare.
Yeah, very much so. Parang kung last time ang storyline natin what happened was the Battle of the Brothers, ngayon the Battle of the Neighbors siguro yung pwede natin sabihin on match number 2 kasi Ubik Maniac versus Gaon Gaming, just like what you've said, they talk to each other, pero PE versus Fervid, you gotta watch it next week. Kasi syempre, week number 6 na lang yan. After week number 6, it's just gonna be the next weeks. Ang bilis ng panahon natin ngayon, Sneaky.
And yeah, my brain is still in week number 3, pare. Not gonna lie. Yun nga, nandun pa ako sa team acceptance, beating Gaon 2-0 time. And ayun nga, I'm kind of getting whiplash, but hey, excited for playoffs, man. That means the top 4 is closer than expected, pare.
Yes, sir. And with that said, everybody is excited here from the production, from CFPH, from Smilegate, from all the talents ngayon dito. This has been a Sneaky Frog and Bipolar on your panel. This Mochi on Daydom on the caster deck. Magbabalik po tayo for week number 6. This has been CFPH Masters 2025.